Alright. I'll start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so the reason I'm starting from the time screen is because I need to set up RNG manipulation for this game. And you may have seen Worcester's Heart Gold any percent run where he also did RNG manipulation. In this one it's not quite so. You only have to start the game at the right second, but there's also a sort of a random value that that also has to be right, and there's not really a lot you can do to influence that. So this might take a while because I have to hope that I get the right random value, which is called timer 0. So I have to wait on this screen so that when I boot the game up, it boots up at 3:33:09 AM. That will help me get good stats on my starter. So that popping noise was this program I like to use called Eon Timer, which helps me start the game at the right time. So I'm holding down A, right, and R when I start this up. And that is also part of the RNG manipulation. This RNG manipulation only works on my console. On other consoles you have to calibrate your DS and do all sorts of other stuff to work out the specific RNG manipulation necessary for your game.
So during the new game thing, he's going to get to a part where, after he names his character and so on, he's going to get to a part where a little spinner indicator will pop up in the bottom right, and it says creating save data.
Name himself H, rip.
Know whether he got it or not.
We're both called H, apparently. Okay, so that pointed up, which means that it was not correct. It has to point to the top right for the RNG manipulation to have worked. And even if it points to the top right, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's been successful. It's just like an initial check you can do so that if it doesn't point to the top right, you'll know that the seed is wrong. So we're just going to have to go back and try again.
This is pretty much the most exciting part of a Gen 5 speedrun, especially White 2.
Oh yeah. You guys can just like meme all you like during this part. I already see people complaining about I chose the boy.
That's a good meme.
I tell you what,
I agree.
I'm hyped for finding my seed on my trees when I do runs.
Ooh.
Yeah, man, we're all holding our breath for that. So yeah, Gen 5 RNG manipulation is pretty well understood, but because it incorporates stuff like the MAC address of your DS, it can be really annoying to figure out what time you need to start your game and so on and so forth. It takes a lot of work, which is why there's not all that many runners for this gen.
Yeah, later gens seem to have fewer runners to begin with, and this just adds another quite a high barrier really to people who want to just get into it. I did do a tutorial though. You can find it on YouTube on my YouTube channel, GarfieldTL.
And fortunately, I mean, once you get the manipulation, it's an easy run, right?
Oh yeah, super straightforward. Absolutely no chance of death anyway. I mean, I might as well just not save for the duration of the run. It'll be fine.
Agreed. Free world record.
Easy. Oops. Ugh. Dang.
That's 2.
How many can we get?
420, blaze it. Gotta hit that estimate somehow.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately for this seed, you just have to wait quite a while on the home screen so that I can start the game up at 3:33:09. This isn't, you know, the ideal seed for a marathon, but it's honestly just so difficult. It's just so time-consuming to find a seed that works, because once you've started the game up, this RNG manipulation. This is only set up for one of the two RNGs that are at play here. This is to set up the IVs of my Pokemon, but once I'm actually in the game, there's more stuff I can do to manipulate the nature of my Pokemon, which is also important for the run.
Which nature are you going for?
Naughty, plus attack, minus special defense.
Ew.
We're not resetting the timer, correct?
No, don't.
Nope.
Just keep going.
Yeah, so basically the second RNG is the thing that determines the nature, as well as like your gender and some other things that are kind of not really relevant for the speedrun. But there's still like a sequence of natures that you can get, and basically while you're on the town map, the movement of the NPCs walking around randomly actually affects what nature you're going to get, basically. So as long as you move frame perfectly, which is, oh yeah, just move frame perfectly.
Oh yeah, easy. It's not too...
You get the same nature every time, but if you need a different nature, you can manipulate a little bit by like walking extra tiles or doing certain other things. But there's no guarantee that you can necessarily get the nature that you want. So finding a naughty seed is still like a huge pain, or in my case, I would be adamant, and that's also still a huge pain.
Alright, so this time the spinner points to the top right, so this might be the correct one.
Oh man.
There's still no guarantees yet. There are a few seeds that have the spinner point to the top right that are actually not helpful. So I'm running in autumn. It's not really hugely important. When I first set up the RNG manipulation, I thought autumn would be the fastest month because you skip jumping down a ledge, but it turns out that saves less time than not running upstairs in Castelia City, which you can avoid if you set your season to spring or summer. But it's really not a huge deal what season it is. It's only like a second or so. And I didn't want to go through the RNG manipulation setup again.
You gonna check TID or?
I'm gonna check trainer ID, yes. In a single segment run, I would not check the trainer ID because it wastes game time. But just because it's a marathon, I'm gonna check it because it allows me to see whether I've hit my seed sooner than going outside and checking NPC movements. So I'm looking for 50941 as my trainer ID. And I got it, so there we go. We can actually get started.
Hype?
Yeah!
Don't botch the movement.
Oh, thanks. So yeah, you just answer no to a second question because it's slightly faster. If you answer no to her other ones, then she just makes you say yes. So I had to move to the middle there. Moving to the right to start this cutscene's a bit faster, but moving to the middle is just like part of the RNG manipulation for the nature. So all I have to do is move to the middle of this path. And as long as I talk to Bianca fast enough, I will get my naughty nature.
So someone asked in chat if saving advances the frame, which it does for your nature, but trying to advance by saving would be so ridiculously tedious, and also you would probably end up having more advancement than just saving from the NPCs moving, so it would be too unpredictable, really.
Alright, so I think that was good enough. I think
easier.
this should give me the tapping I'm after. We will... if not, we'll have to do it again, but I'm pretty sure that was fine.
So generally you can tell pretty quickly in the first battle after you get a manipulated Tepig if it has 23 HP, because that requires a 30 or 31 IV, and that tends to mean that, oh, you named it V.
I did, yeah.
I heart you too, Garfield.
I meant to name him V when I got the record, but I accidentally hit W, so sorry, Volition. Not immortalized in that one, I'm afraid. Yeah, my HP IV will be 23. My IVs will be 31. It's just a matter of did I talk to Bianca fast enough to get the right nature, and I kind of messed up a bit there. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie, but I will calm down as the run goes on. That doesn't matter now, really. I've already got my Tepig, so I can't affect its nature now. I was supposed to just talk to my rival, but whatever.
So the stats is going for 23 HP. 13 attack.
Yeah, I'm just gonna beat this Oshawott, and then I'll be able to tell upon level up.
Oh dang, pro strats.
But I'm doing a fair bit of damage with tackle. I'm pretty sure this is the right one.
It's at least plus attack.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we got it. Good stuff. So the reason, yeah, easy, right? So the reason you choose Tepig for this run, Tepig just has monstrous attack, and it just has a good matchup against the gyms, really. Like if you chose Snivy, the second gym is Poison, which would be really difficult for Snivy, and if you choose Oshawott, then you have the Electric gym to worry about, and even the Bug gym, because 2 of the gym leader's Pokemon are part Grass type.
Basically for all Gen 5 runs, there's no choice other than Tepig.
Yeah, there's a few other reasons, but we'll get to those when we get further into the run. So this game is pretty cutscene heavy, as you might be able to tell. You get talked to quite a lot by a bunch of people, mainly Bianca, who was your rival in Black and White 1, actually. Yeah, these games are unlike, usually there's like a third version to, say, Red, Blue, or Gold, Silver, but then they decided to do things a little bit different in Gen 5. Rather than being a third version, these are Black and White 2 are sequels that are set 2 years after the events of Black and White, and it has a few different towns and stuff. Like you start in a completely new city. So I think me not talking to my rival immediately might have messed up my encounter manipulation. If I move the same way, then I should be able to manipulate, you know, as few encounters as I can. But because I messed up talking to my rival, I think that's might be out of the window. We'll just run with it though. It's not a huge deal.
You want to talk about why you're running White 2 specifically instead of Black 2?
Yeah, White 2 it's not what you because usually the differences between these games are just what Pokemon you get. But in White 2 it's more about the layout differences in certain areas. There's just a bunch that basically all go towards White 2 being faster. There's, on Route 4 you would have to battle an extra trainer if you ran Black 2. In Reversal Mountain you would have to fight an extra double battle. And when you go on, later on when you go in the Evil Team's hideout, in Black 2 you would have to do this thing which requires you to dodge like 6 spinners or something, and in White 2 you just fight a trainer and move on. Well, Copratic, you'll have to find out whether White 1 is faster during the Black/White run, won't you? Alright, so I got new encounters now, which is pretty lucky. I thought I might have gotten one because, like I say, the movement got messed up a little. So here's Alder, who was the champion in Black and White, but he is retired to take up his hobby of base jumping. He's just like, he loves jumping off cliffs as Alder. I don't know why, but yeah, now that he's retired, he can finally just devote himself full time to that pursuit.
He already dabbled in it in Black and White.
Yeah. But you know, his house is like right next to this cliff, and he's like, he can just jump off that all he likes.
Yeah, so early game is pretty similar to any other mainline glitchless run. You go to the early trainers and you have to punch them in the face a whole bunch of times, and even though you have fully manipulated perfect stats, you're still not going to one-hit everything, so...
Yeah, this Patrat, for example, is actually usually a 3-hit, even with plus attack perfect IVs, unfortunately.
The main advantage of having like the manipulated IVs and stuff, really more than almost anything else, it's not just the fact that we do a lot of damage, but that we can plan exactly how much damage we'll do and exactly how much we'll take. Everything, I mean, there's a modifier that's random on every damage range that you do. So like if you do an attack, it can be up to like 100% to 85% of the max damage you can do, but you can plan around that pretty well. Being able to just deal a crap load of damage is a nice bonus, though.
Or maybe the manipulation didn't get as messed up as I thought, because I haven't had any encounters yet, but we'll see what happens a bit later on. So you fight your rival again here. He basically, it feels like not very long ago that he fought you, but he just can't get enough of wanting to beat you, I guess. So here he is.
In fairness, the music is amazing.
Well, there is that. So at level 8, Oshawott should know Water Gun, but for some reason it doesn't, so we don't have to worry about that. And I go for Tail Whip on turn 1, because if I get a crit after the defense drop, he doesn't come out and say, come on partner, you're stronger than that, blah blah blah. So that saves a bunch of time, but I didn't get the crit that time. You don't usually, it's just nice if you get it.
Lost an entire second.
I know, that's reset, guys.
It's fine, you already buffered 2 resets before the run.
Oh, well, that's okay then. So I have one more mistake I can do, and then, you know, it's basically run over.
And very, very shortly, we're going to run up against my favorite thing in this game, the first spinner.
Oh, yes.
It's been long enough that I've forgotten his name, but I've never forgotten the pain.
Alright, this is, I think, a Psyduck. Oh, it's a Mareep, never mind. Yeah, usually it's a Psyduck in that spot if I get the movement right, if I do the movement right, but yeah, I messed it up a little bit, so I don't really know. Usually I can tell how the spinner is going to move, because like RNG manipulation can affect that as well, but I don't this time, so I'm just going to have to kind of baby my way past him a bit. You can actually run past him though, and he doesn't turn towards you, which is nice. So yeah, I managed to get past him there. Let's see what happens on the way back. Oh, I see what you're trying to do. So we just go past him to grab an X attack, which will be useful later on. In this game, you don't get X items until very late. It's not until just before the 7th gym where you have the opportunity to buy X items. I think that's...
For that matter, there's not a lot to pick up either.
Yeah, I think that's the latest you buy X items in any main series Pokemon game.
It's also a pretty stark contrast with Black and White 1, where you get X items like before the 2nd gym.
Yeah. Like they just never moved the place where they sold the X items, and that's actually a post-game city. They sell it in two places, either like the big department store or like an early city in Black and White 1, but you start somewhere completely different in Black and White 2, so you can't go there to just buy X items before you beat the Elite Four. So yeah, this is a ledge I was talking about. Yay, time save hype! Because I can run over those leaves, but like I say, it turns out to be not quite as fast as spring and summer. So here's another X item here, X speed. This is more of a safety thing. I don't, strictly speaking, need this X speed, but I don't want to die. I would pick that up even in single-second runs, to be honest. Just because it can be quite rare that you get far enough into the game to use the X speed. There are a bunch of difficult early game fights. But right now it's just, you know, kill things with your powerful attacks.
Incidentally, this game gives you free heals like just all the time.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Alder just healed me for free there, which is why I wasn't really worried about my health at that point.
And of course, the other nice thing about the free heal, of course, is that you get your PP refreshed as well. So, PP management, there's only really a couple times when it's going to be tight at all in this run.
Yeah, I only pick up one PP restoring item in the whole run, and I generally just don't have to worry about things. So that Panpour is actually a speed tie with it, but the most annoying thing about it is that it can use Lick to paralyze me, but luckily it didn't. So this guy gives me the medal box. It's a completely optional, you know, side quest kind of thing that I have thought about routing, but it's quite a daunting task to route medal percent. And you can't get them all anyway.
Garf, please.
Dude, people, I don't know, people said they wanted to see it, but it's just quite daunting.
If you can't win 100 online battles, then you're not good enough to do the run.
Sinstar has a point.
Anyway, there Alders again, just jumping off cliffs, because he... Just because he can.
Do you use frustration anymore?
No. Battles are really fast in this game, so although frustration, I think it says like 2 turns on average. It's just not worth the time going into the menu teaching it.
Yeah, battles in this game are really fast-paced, so a turn is on the order of 6 to 7 seconds, when teaching frustration is like 12 plus of going to the menu and teaching it, so it turns out to be kind of a wash. The nice thing, of course, is you take less damage if you use it.
Yeah, like early on the turns are like even shorter than that. I think they're more like 3 to 4 seconds sometimes.
Yeah, it varies a little bit. Actually, the funny thing is the difference that frustration makes is so minimal. The amount of BP that it has, I think, at the friendship level that you're at this early on, which is already close to like the 128 cutoff point or whatever, frustration's like 51 or 52 BP at some points when you're using it. So it's really, really minor difference.
Yeah, I think around here, like, if you get to Cheren, it's usually like high 50s or something, mid to high maybe. But it's been a while since I checked that out. Nice, got a crit there. Good stuff.
Kabalion room is the best room.
That usually
Oh
dies
my
in
God.
2 hits anyway, though, to be fair, so... But that first one did less than half, so... Nice safety crit.
So we're rapidly approaching basically the hardest fight for like an hour or so.
Yeah, Cheren is actually pretty tough. At least the way I do it.
But you're just gonna go in without saving, right? I mean, you don't need that shit.
I think I might actually save. Just in case the game crashes, you know, not because I'm worried about the fight or anything.
Oh yeah,
To-
yeah, no, that,
totally not worried about speed ties.
No.
yeah. I mean, crashes happen all the time, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's reasonable.
If you get hit into Blaze at any point during this, which is 1/3 HP or below, it means that I could potentially 2-hit some of these guys, but I didn't, so... But that's not a big deal because I'm actually at pretty decent HP. So I'm going to save for Cheren, and this HP is fine for taking him on. Assuming I get lucky.
Don't die, please.
I'll do my best. So this Patrat is not really the problem. It can survive 2 tackles at -1, but it's a 1 in 16 chance for it to survive 2 tackles. And it just used Work Up twice, which is pretty good because I didn't get hit. Work Up boosts their attack and special attack. They just use physical attacking moves though, so special attack boost is not important. It would actually be worse for me if it lowered my defense, if they just used, you know, what the other things did and used Leer and Tail Whip and things like that. So what I'm going to try to do here... Oh, I actually got a crit. That's not great. Well, I'm going to hope I lose this speed tie. I lost the speed tie, but I got crit. Never mind then, we'll just reset the game. So what I was trying to do there was hit it with an Ember in Blaze, and I lost the speed tie, which was good, but I got crit, so I just died. So we'll try it again with these strats, and if that doesn't work, we'll just heal up a bit and go a bit safer.
Yeah, so this is pretty much this covers the Cheren experience for you. It's basically like this.
Yeah, I mean this seems like quite a risky thing to do, and it is. I mean, I wouldn't use these strats if Cheren was any later in the run, just because it's quite early on. I don't mind too much resetting. Like, this is usually about 20 minutes into the run.
Yeah, I mean, usually you've only reset on average like 8 to 10 times.
Oh
with
yeah,
your
it's
ID
fine, don't
manipulation.
worry. Alright, so again, I didn't get hit. Let's hope I get a bit luckier this time around. Okay, used Work Up that time, which is fine. I just need to win this speed tie. And I lost the speed tie, so yeah, I think I'm gonna maybe heal up a bit and go a bit safer on this fight, which will be a bit slower, but we do want to get past Cheren at some point today.
The full White 2 experience right now.
Dude, in my practice runs, it was, you know, I got lucky, but not this time. So I'll just go and heal up with a potion.
Is there a daily reminder that in Pokemon, when you have a 50% chance for something to go in your favor, it actually is 0%?
Well, especially during a marathon.
But 50% chance of your favour is actually -%. It's like 30% skull burns are actually 100%.
Well, I'm using a fire type, so I don't have to worry about skull burns at least.
But you do have to worry about lollipops.
No, you have to worry
Yeah.
about static. But we'll come to that later.
Yeah, this ooh, nice crit. So being at I mean at full HP, I don't well, let's just not say anything actually. You never know what's gonna happen.
Should have
You're
gone with
gonna win.
frustration strats.
Dude, it'll be fine. Alright, so if I lose this speed tie, I'll be in Blaze and then I can KO it like that. So there it is. That's
GG.
it only took 3 tries.
So
Oh,
I
for,
just saw a question in chat about DS emulators.
yeah, DS emulators run the game much faster than any console can. Like in this game, load times load times actually contribute to the in-game time. So basically, emulator times are incomparable to console times.
Yeah, so there's a separate emulator category, basically. It's not really a category in the traditional sense, but if you run an emulator, you're only comparing to emulator runners, and if you run console, you're only comparing to console.
What if I want to run Pokemon Troze?
I don't know anything about Pokemon Troze, I'm afraid.
Well,
I
call
think
it
that's
Pokemon
probably
Link,
common.
but you know, it's Pokemon Link in my mind, but people call it Troze in America, so I guess that's the common term. I reckon I could get world record in that.
Well, good luck.
I don't think there's anyone who's ever run it, so that's basically free.
So I've gotten a few TMs so far. I got work up and return in pretty quick succession. I'll be using those later, but it's just not really worth teaching them now. Return is just not powerful enough yet, and work up is just not useful enough right at the moment.
Yeah, I think at this point you have basically exactly enough like friendship for return to be on the order of 52.
Yeah, it's
again,
just,
which is just like barely better than that.
yeah, friendship just basically increases the more you battle, the more your Pokemon levels up, and the more you run around with a Pokemon in your party.
Yeah, and you can't teach work up as Tepic doesn't actually.
Oh, that's right, Tepic can't learn it anyway.
What a slacker.
So now that I've beaten the first gym, the mart has more things for me to buy. I could only buy potions and Pokeballs before my first gym badge, but now it sells repels, which is the big one, so I can use that to get through the grass without worrying about encounters. So I don't know if you noticed before, Cheren, but I actually set my item pocket so that when I press Y, I can... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. So that I can just press Y and go straight to the pocket without having to open the bag, which is a really nice feature of Gen 5. Like in other games, you're limited to registering certain key items, but in this game you can also register various pockets of your bag, as well as your Pokemon menu and stuff like that. But it's not worth registering more than one thing at a time, because then it brings up a menu for you to select what you want to use.
I actually at one point tried to work out whether it'd be faster to have both like the bag and the bike registered later in the game. Not in this one, in black. And it turned out to be like a wash time-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, it turns out to be better to not register both, because the thing that's most likely to happen is that you just make more menuing mistakes trying to use that.
So this Riolu can troll me a little bit because it has Endure, which can leave it on 1 HP. I'll use it first turn, which is good because it has a chance of failing if it uses again. And it didn't use it again, so that was pretty good. If you stay on the left of that path, that guy who's running around on the right will never see you. So, then I swap to the middle of the path because the cutscene, like, otherwise you're forced to walk to the middle to activate the cutscene. So 14 HP is actually a little bit irritating because I'm in Blaze right now, but when I level up I won't be. So hopefully I can take some damage from this fight. This is a spinner, but I fight her anyway because she gets me to level 15 for in the middle of the next fight, which is really nice, and also you'd otherwise have to dodge her 3 times. So hopefully the lip up hits me, and it didn't. I'm not going to try and play around with, you know, stalling until it hits me though, because I think that'll probably end into, well, it could just, it wastes a lot of time. It's not really worth it.
Just want to say rip the route that used Dunsparce.
Yeah, if you fight Dunsparce, you can get Pig Knight before Roxie, but Dunsparce is
literally the worst.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure something like a task would use something like ordinary strats also.
Probably, yeah.
It's not consistent enough.
Yeah, you can find Ordinary in various patches of Shaking Grass, but like they're actually quite bulky at this point in the game anyway, so they'd take a while to kill, and it would probably just, you might even die to it at this point, to be honest. I actually went down there, but I think I want to just head into this Pokemon Center to set my warp point in case something goes wrong, which it very well might. Oh wait, hold on, I'm forgetting things all over the place here. There's an X accuracy down here that I want to pick up for a later fight. It's fine though, those extra steps are going to boost the power of return later on. Ensuring a damage range. All calculated, guys, don't worry about it.
God, imagine if you can manipulate literally everything.
Alright, so I'm gonna equip the Pecha Berry here. And then I'm actually gonna save as well. Because even though if I die, I just set my warp point. It will also heal me to full HP, which is kind of annoying actually, because I want to use Blaze a bit on these fights. If I can. But this is, like I say, this is a bit of an annoying map HP. But it is nice to be in Blaze with this Venipede, because you can't KO it if you're outside of Blaze, and it can do annoying things like Screech to sharply lower your defense. But when I level up, I'm 1 HP outside of Blaze, which sucks, but nothing you can do about it. So I'm going to learn Flame Charge now. Flame Charge is a really good move. It's a fire move that works off your physical stats, but more importantly, it can raise your speed. Well, it does. It always raises your speed, in fact. And because of the lack of X items, moves that do things like raise your speed are actually really helpful. So I'm hoping this Grimer uses Poison Gas, because if it doesn't, if it uses Poison Gas, then I'll just heal it off with my berry that I'm holding. There we go. And I will remain in Blaze, but at a reasonably high amount of HP. So now this coughing shouldn't be too much of an issue. And I burned it as well, which it actually wastes time, but
Oh, nice poison.
Oops. Alright, so no blaze strats on Roxie, I'm afraid. Gonna have to heal up again before I fight her. Alright, so Roxie is generally not too bad, but she can just crit you, and basically this gym, anywhere in this gym, if you get crits, it's pretty bad. It's, you know, a reset really, because you generally don't. I'm doing such little damage with Ember, this is quite unsettling. It's fine, we'll just be a bit safe and tail whip twice. Normally all that's required to get past this is Ember, Tail Whip, Flame Charge, but those two Embers is such little damage that I'm gonna have to I have to Tail Whip twice really, otherwise Flame Charge is not gonna KO. So I want to be faster than this Whirlipede, because if I'm slower, it can knock me into Blaze before I attack, which is actually bad because it knocks it into red health and then Roxie can heal it. But I mean, I was at such high HP then, it didn't matter too much. But that's generally what you would like to do.
Rest in peace, arm thrust.
Yeah, we skipped level, at level 17, Tapping evolves at level 17, and Pignite also learns arm thrust at the level. But you enter the fight at level 16, you get out of it at level 18, so we don't actually learn arm thrust. But that's not really a huge deal, to be honest. You would only use it in 2 places that I could think of.
Really, the main one that you would want for is Chorus.
Yeah, Chorus is one. There's also a Battle in the Sewers that you could use it for, but it's not really a big deal. I think this is the only game where all the starters evolve at level 17. Usually they either all evolve at 16 or they sort of spread out a little more, like 14, 16, 18 or something.
Oh my god, guys. Guys. Pokéstar Studios.
Yeah.
Free type.
Yeah, not for a while, I guess. Free type, but it's coming up for sure.
Pretty early on now. This is by far the best important turn of any fight in the run.
So this is quite a long this is quite a long bit where I'm just mashing A basically through a bunch of this stuff because this sort of auto plays for you. The Pokéstar Studios is kind of like a battle puzzle sort of area where you have to either win battles like a certain way, sometimes even lose battles a certain way, and you just have to like you're sort of given a script, if you like, and you have to follow that to get to make the best movie you can. We won't be trying to make the best movie we can. Well, I guess we will be, in a way. We'll be trying to make the best movie we can, but if we fail, then whatever. Like, we're not. What I mean is, there's generally like 3 endings to these movies. There's a good one, a bad one, and a strange one. And in this movie coming up, we'll be going for the strange one. But if we don't get it, we'll just get the bad one, and it'll be pretty fast as well. The good one just involves you going through the whole script and following all the instructions, and it ends up taking a while. So this is, in case you haven't been following the story of all this, this is actually Roxie's father, whose job is to ferry people across from Verbank City, across the I'm not sure if it's I think it's a sea. But anyway, it's a little inlet anyway to Castelia City, but he doesn't want to do it because he wants to follow his dream of being an actor. So yeah, the idea is he's gonna get snapped back to his senses by this terrible movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is a masterpiece.
Well, I guess it's in the eye of the beholder.
Nominated for 8 Pokemon Academy Awards.
If you've played Black and White 1, you might recognize this mysterious masked villain. But you know, in case you don't, well, his secret identity will be revealed soon enough. I mean, it's pretty difficult to guess who he is, to be honest. Not like his name gives it away or anything. Oh, people are talking about Route 2. Round 2. I did actually route that in case we ended up being super ahead of schedule, but we probably won't be. And it was just.
How far ahead of a schedule were you expecting?
I don't know. Look, I mean,
it was more than 420 festival.
Yeah, I mean, you can like, I could feasibly have gotten perhaps like on a nice run, I could have gotten like 45 minutes underestimate. I think that's pretty similar to what one of my practice runs ended up being, because I got first try RNG manip. And the Elite 4 round 2 takes about half an hour. But it was pretty.
Black and white one.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty rough. So if we have time in this setup block later on, maybe, you never know. But it's not like it's super. It's not like it's a super optimized route or anything. And it is just go back and fight the Elite Four again. So you can't choose your party Pokemon for the movie until you've done it with rental Pokemon. But that's fine, because we want to get the freeze anyway. The idea is we want to use Ice Punch on this pawn yard instead of Pause Farm, and if we get the freeze, they just, you know, they're just extremely shocked and the movie ends. So let's see if we get the freeze, guys.
I'm hype.
Sorry, guys.
Oh.
So yeah, if you don't get the freeze, he just KOs you and the movie ends. Now you actually have to save here. The game doesn't let you progress until you save and you know, send your movie to the theater, because this is extremely important for defeating the Elite Four, obviously.
It's also very important that you go watch the video.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
But you have to, dude.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe when you ran it, but things have changed.
Wow. Dan's game.
But yeah, you don't have to watch your movie, which would just take a fair bit of extra time and would be pretty similar to the other movie we saw anyway. So now we can go to Castelia City, right? Not quite.
Still not as many Team Plasma battles as in Black and White 1.
Yeah, not quite. So here we get the superior Team Plasma battle theme.
Garfield, how does it feel to be so wrong?
This track can control you a little bit with Detect, but it's not a huge time loss or anything. Like, went for Bide, that's kind of the mini troll just because it takes like an extra half second or so. Or probably more like a second, but anyway. So you just waste a little bit of time, but it's hardly anything. Alright, let's hope this youngster gets out of my way. Yeah, he knows it's a marathon, guys.
8 frames saved, yes.
Okay.
People in chat commenting that you didn't get the joke behind the estimated time for your run, and I would just like to comment for that Garfield is using the ability Blaze.
It is
during
true.
this run.
Look, I mean, people have mentioned it to me before, I just didn't mention it because... I mean, you guys all got it, right? I didn't have to mention anything. So this is really when you start to just one-hit things after you evolve. You can just, and with your newly acquired flame charge, you can just kill a bunch of stuff in one hit. Not everything though, by any means.
The game gets rather nice in a minute. Do a bunch of bug grass types to one hit.
Yeah, the next gym is just really nice for Tepig. Pig Knight by now.
A nice relaxing massage. Reminder not to use another repel in the town.
Yeah, it's fine. Ah, he didn't stay. He didn't get out of my way that time. In fact, he moved towards me. Man, wanted to take me on.
Like, you didn't even get the freeze, and then you can't even get the guy. Like, what the hell?
I mean, I got him once. Calm down. So finally we can go to Castelia City, which is the biggest city in Unova by a long way. It's just laid out pretty differently to a lot of other Pokemon settlements. Like, really long streets. You have to actually, you know, you have to actually load different parts of the city as well. So it's a good thing that this guy right here gives me a bicycle, because otherwise it would take forever and then it would be terrible. Good thing there's no game that does that. Right, Fullerton?
Yeah, having to traverse Castelia City without a bike, that would just be rude. Surely no game would make you do that.
Oops.
I feel for you.
So now that he's got the bike, he has unbound the menu. So when he presses Y, it's just bicycle now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just go into the menu the scrub way, I'm afraid, from now on.
Which does actually make using the menu a little bit slower. But, or I should say accessing your bag a little bit slower, but...
Oops, no, no, no.
overall...
Almost picked Snivy there, that would have been pretty bad. Good thing I realised and pressed B afterwards. So yeah, I went in there and I got the experience share from the guy, but I don't actually need the experience share at all, but I just go in there because there's that girl in there who gives me the charcoal, which boosts the power of my fire type moves by, oh my gosh, one tail movement,
20%.
by 20% in this game.
Which, of course, is really, really essential for you to be able to handle the upcoming gym.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I'd manage against these bug grass types without the 20% power boost.
Actually, I believe there were a couple of damage ranges that you get with the channel.
I think only if you use Ember, because you still have Flame Charge, so...
Yeah, I think on
Like
the
Dwebble.
on the Dwebble, yeah, you wouldn't be able to two-hit
was just a jerk.
And yeah, it does let you one hit the Dwebble with Ember. With that speed racing tech.
So, in a single segment run, I would use a repel earlier so that it would run out in the Castelia sewers, because I'm going to need to catch more Pokemon for an upcoming, well, it's quite a while away, but a triple battle. But the Pokemon in here are quite weak, so if I catch them here, like, the triple battle generally goes faster, but there's also a decent chance that I could lose it. So I'm going to just forego doing that for the marathon and catch a Pokemon, a high level Pokemon later on instead. So these are the stairs I was talking about. Where in spring and summer the water level rises, so you can just go across that wooden plank that you see on the bottom of the dried up sewer. I don't know what you call it. It's not really a river or anything. It's just
I wonder if anyone's actually timed which one of those is faster.
I did time it, and it is faster to. It is faster to jump the second ledge than to run up the stairs instead of just not. So Ducklett can miss with Razor Shell on that Sandal, which can be a little bit annoying, but it didn't this time, thankfully. So this fight is pretty straightforward. This is the first of a long series of 2-on-2 battles. This game is very fond of 2-on-2 battles, especially with your rival. And his Ducklett is quite nice now, but later on he just he doesn't seem to get the concept of helping you out.
Encore.
So here's Berg, who was just to the left is a dead end, so he was just hanging around here while we were battling the Team Plasma people. So yeah, some help you were. Thanks for verifying there was nobody in that dead end. But yeah, I mean, we don't have anything to worry about from a coward like that, really. It'll be fine.
So while you do the gym, I'm just gonna like go AFK, take a nap, whatever.
Alright, sure, no problem. I really like how in this game there's like a main gym theme and then there are variations on it depending on which gym you go in. I think that's a really cool feature, and I'm quite surprised they didn't bring it back in Gen 6, to be honest.
I think the main improvement of this gym compared to Black and White 1 is the fact that there aren't giant balls of honey.
That is quite nice. So this Combi is actually faster than me, and it can get off some damage if it wants to. It can, but it's not really a big deal.
Oh man, that 2 damage bug bite.
Scary stuff. So yeah, without the charcoal I would have had to flame charge those two, but not like it would have wasted that much time. It just flame charges more characters and it also raises your speed. This Combi though, I actually outspeed, which is quite nice. If this Dwebble uses Rock Polish, it can outspeed me, so I'm just going to go for Flame Charge just on the off chance it does, so that I can outspeed it, but it went for Sand Attack, which is the worst thing it can do. Oh boy, is this really going to happen? Okay, good. Oh man, I forgot to save before Berg. Oh, what the heck?
Dude,
It's over. It's over.
that's really risky, dude.
Oh jeez,
man.
in the last place, I mean at least I set my walk point to Verbank, but I still have to cross the boat to get back. Oh my gosh. So I use Flame Charge in the Swadloon to raise my speed for his final Pokemon. Otherwise I would be slower. This Dwebble is a damage range with 2 Embers, but I got the burn, so that's gonna be no problem.
Tough fight.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna learn rollout here for one fight basically. It's a little ways off, but it is very helpful.
Basically the most important move in the game right here.
Sure, if you say so.
It would be fairly difficult to play the run with Big Knight without rollout.
Yeah,
shell sweat
I think it would be
is really
workable,
hard.
but it would take quite a lot longer. I think there was like a did he not used to use like a heat crash strat or something?
I
But-
used to have strats to use like heat crash and other stuff, and it was no, you didn't have heat crash. Sorry, I think it was return strats. It
Oh
was
really?
god
Dang.
awful.
That
It was
does,
terrible.
that does sound pretty bad. So here's this mysterious scientist, Colrus, who wants to bring out the power of Pokemon by any means necessary, good or bad. That's basically his deal. And he wants to fight me.
As we all know, there's no such thing as ethics in science.
Of course, he's such a nice guy as well. Just ask you if you want to fight him or not, and then
And
refuses.
And then if you say no, he says, oh well, whatever. I'll fight you anyway.
Refuses to listen to you regardless of what you say.
Yeah, people do that a lot in Pokemon.
Still not as bad as the NPC in Black and White 1, where if you tell her no, she specifically gives you another extra text box and
Just
then
to
says all
punish
the
you.
same other ones.
So this is the first of the layout differences I was talking about. In Black 2, this is kind of a more modernized area. And the trains are in different spots, and you have to fight one of them pretty early on in the route, I think before Colrus, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So here he is. This is where it'd be nice to have Arms Thrust, because his Magnemite has Sturdy, and Sturdy means that I can't KO it in one hit from full HP. And you know, I would like to go for Ember and go for the burn chance, but he has a super potion, so if I don't get the burn, he's just going to heal back up. So I'm just going to tackle first to break Sturdy, and then he's going to paralyze me because he's a nice guy. Okay, at least I didn't get paralyzed again after healing paralysis.
You
Yeah,
actually
that's
feel
the
it,
only
interesting.
that's the only time you can get lights in the run, right?
Oh yeah, I'm not going to get paralyzed ever anywhere else. Yeah, I don't paralyze heal there if I'm at lower HP because I just like heal at the center. But I can keep going with this HP for a bit without having to heal, so I figure I might as well paralyze heal. So here's another thing where an adult asks you a question and you have to say yes, because if you say no, he just keeps asking you again. Nothing you can do about it because you're just a dumb kid.
Please consider these words carefully. Whoa, Garfield.
I'm
Whoa,
sorry.
watch that
I didn't
language.
I didn't consider them carefully enough. My apologies.
Wow.
Just call me H, which is the name of my rival. He's totally the boss of this place. So I'm going to go in the center here because I need to buy a bunch of stuff. And also, this guy gives me 10 red shards, which is useful later on for teaching a move. Okay, so I'm going to buy a bunch of great balls, a bunch of hyper potions, a few revives. Oops, no antidotes. And that's gonna leave me with pretty much nothing, but we'll get a bunch of money from the upcoming fight, so don't worry too much about that.
Awakenings, Kappa.
Yeah, you don't often need to use them, but
I
you never
that's
know.
why.
You never know. So this was the
So-
old gym in Black and White 1. You can tell it's not the current gym because it doesn't play the gym music when you enter. But you have to
Yeah,
go
for some
through
reason
here
they make you
anyway.
Go in here.
I was going to run back and
Traverse all
forth a
the way
bit just
up to this.
because, just in case it matters to boost return. It probably won't, but yeah, I guess there's no harm in doing it. So they
Not
give
much
you
really
a
to talk about here.
yeah, they give you a nice Pokemon as your first electric Pokemon to fight, Blitzel, which is just can't really do a lot to you. But there are other electric type Pokemon that you fight that are much more annoying.
Yeah. Once you get to the second half of the gym, the real gym.
So this is the first Pokemon with static, and static static has a 30% chance of paralyze. It's an ability that has a 30% chance of paralyzing you if you hit it with a contact move, like tackle or flame charge, for example.
When
That
he
you
says
can,
30%, he means 100%.
and there it is. Right, he used
for one.
charge, so I'm gonna just paralyze heal actually, because it shouldn't KO me if I'm not paralyzed. Because oh no, wait, never mind, that's silly. Yeah, that was a bit risky there. I could have died from a thunder shock after charge, but luckily it went for charge again. I forgot this one didn't have Electro Ball.
So
Yeah,
we're
like-
2 for 2 right now.
That's fine. I hope I have enough paralyze heals though. You get a lot, but if you get trolled, it's well, it might not even be enough, but it should be, because this girl also gives me one, as if she knows, like, yeah, you're gonna need this.
Yeah, so coming up in the real gym, there's going to be some trainers who do have the move you mentioned, Electro Ball, which does damage based on how much faster they are than you. And when you get paralyzed, your speed goes to 25%, so you just get completely destroyed.
Yeah, that goes in stages. I think if it's more than 4 times faster than you, it has like 150 power, and its minimum power is 60. So, but yeah, if you get paralyzed, it can just do massive damage. So it's a little bit scary, but thankfully we went into the Pokemon Center. So if I die, you know, I can just go back here. Oh, I didn't do run to the right so that he walks fewer steps strats. I'll have to do that the next opportunity. So this is the most dangerous fight in, well, apart from the leader, this is the most dangerous fight. Because both her Pokemon have Static and Electro Ball. He just went straight for Thunder Wave. Didn't even, you know, give me a chance to try and avoid Static. Just, here you go, get paralyzed. Man. Luckily, I used Flame Charge again to KO because if I do that, then I just get a bit more speed. So if Flaffy decides to use Cotton Spores to try and lower my speed, I'll still be at a decent amount of speed, so it won't do too much damage. Because Flaffy is actually quite slow. So like even when I'm paralyzed, I can raise my speed a bit and have Electro Ball have less power.
It's only 120 power at that. Neutral and paralyzed versus Fluffy.
I think it's a little. I'm not sure it's quite as.
Slow.
I don't think it's quite as much as that, but.
I think 25 to 50 speed is 120.
Alright, so in this menu, I'm going to because I have to heal paralysis at least in this menu. I might as well just like heal up and also teach a few moves. I'm gonna teach Work Up at this point. I want to keep Ember because on that Elekid, you can just use Ember to finish it off and have less of a chance of activating Sturdy, but it just paralyzed me right away, so that didn't really work out.
It's also worth mentioning that in the fight, he fought through paralysis instead of healing immediately.
Yeah, I just really didn't want to get paralyzed again from Static, which is a very real possibility.
Yeah, and when you're paralyzed, it's only a 25% chance to lose your turn. A lot of people think it's more than that because it kind of seems like it always happens, but basically you have a better chance of just not getting paralyzed again and not wasting a turn doing that.
Yeah, and since you have to heal anyway, might as well.
So I actually didn't get paralyzed there, yay!
I'm not celebrating until you're done with the gym.
Oh, okay, fine. Jeez, tough crowd. I'll take all the small victories I can get. Yeah, both of these guys have, both of these trainers have Blitzels on their Pokemon. Blitzel doesn't have Static or Electro Ball, so it's much nicer to fight than Elekid or Flaffy. Alright, so 68 HP is a little bit high for this fight. I would like to be a bit lower, just so that I can manipulate her AI into doing what I want. But, I mean, I'm not going to complain about like not getting paralyzed and not having to heal and all that. But I'm definitely going to save before her.
That really sure sounds like you're complaining.
Okay, well, okay. Maybe I was complaining a little bit. You got me. So the goal of this fight is basically to set up to +2 with work up, be in Blaze, and sweep her with Flame Charge in Blaze, but 2 of her Pokemon have static, so it's not really as straightforward as all that, in most cases. The reason I wanted to be at lower HP, because after this Volt Switch, see now at this range of HP, Flaffy will probably use Thunder Wave instead of Volt Switch. I'm gonna heal anyway. She might go for Volt Switch anyway, but if she goes for Thunder Wave, which she did, I'm just gonna have to spend an extra turn healing that paralysis off. So she's just switching around with Volt Switch. It's a move that does damage and automatically switches the Pokemon out. But yeah, now I'm nicely in Blaze and at +2, so let's see if I can sweep with Flame Charge. Well, okay. Shut down.
Wrecked.
I'm not actually in Blaze, which is quite surprising, so that's not too... so... Even if I hadn't gotten paralyzed, I probably wouldn't have been able to sweep her anyways.
Getting paralyzed is really, really bad here, though, because it costs you 2 extra turns, because you have to heal up first to even be able to heal the paralyzed safely, and then you have to heal the paralysis.
And this type of striker doesn't always even go for its most powerful move. It just likes to do random things like Flame Charge or what have you.
Oh, God.
Oh, and it actually went for Volt Switch and killed me. That's... yeah, because it was faster than me after Flame Charge. Dang. That was my bad, I should have healed.
This is a very difficult fight to deal with because of how your speed chops and changes around during the fight with paralysis and flame charge.
It's such a clean fight if everything goes right, but then anything goes wrong and you're just really screwed.
Yeah, sometimes you have to sometimes you sort of have to think really fast and your brain doesn't sometimes catch up with what you're doing, and then you can make a few mistakes if you don't quite keep track of speed and things like... and these guys have quick attack as well, that's another thing to keep in mind. Alright, that did a little bit more damage, but Flaffy will still probably use Thunder Wave because its minimum amount of damage it can do to me is 33 with Volt Switch. Yeah. Alright, so let's try that again and see if I can just get through it. Alright, so that's number 1, not activated. Let's see how Emolga wants to play things. Okay, nice. That's how the fight... See how clean that fight looks if you just don't get static. You can just sweep all her Pokemon in one hit.
Just RNG manipulate the static away.
I would love to. I would really love to, but that's not really possible. You can't RNG manipulate battles in this, well, in any Pokemon game, I don't think.
Actually, in this gen, they don't even think that it's possible to test battles either, or at least not.
Oh really?
Not
wow.
Beyond a certain point, like you can't manipulate every outcome to be perfect. You can manipulate an overall good outcome, but yeah, you can't really test it very effectively either. So Garfield is a little bit low on flame charges right now. And as it happens, that doesn't really matter because he's about to get yet another free heal.
Yeah, I only actually need 2 more. I think I have 2 or 3 left. Because I used return a few times on one of the fights instead of flame charge, so I should be fine. I'm picking up that revive in the bin there just as a safety thing. Not for this fight. These fights are... I mean, I only have 1 Pokemon right now anyway, so it's not like revives would help yet. It's quite nice to be in Blaze for this first fight because it allows you to just one-hit this Trubbish. Otherwise it could do annoying things like poison you. But this next one is one of the biggest trolls in the entire game. I like to call this Watchog the Big Sister. She has no direct way of killing me. The only way I can kill myself is by hitting myself in confusion. But she has Confuse Ray and Hypnosis, and she's faster than me. So, unless she uses Super Fang, which halves my HP, it might be a bit annoying. Went right for that Confuse Ray. But I'm gonna go for Return anyway, because if I hit myself, I'm not gonna die and she can't kill me. Luckily I broke through twice, which was very lucky.
GG, big sis.
But like if I'd hit myself there, she might have used Hypnosis and put me to sleep, and that would have been really pretty annoying.
Once that fight starts to go bad, it tends to go very badly.
Yeah, it can just snowball out of your control a bit, because you have to heal a bunch, and then while you're healing, it just gives her more turns to do things.
Speaking of fights that can go very badly,
I don't know what you're talking about, Volition.
I'm very hype for the upcoming triple battle.
Yes, the triple battle. I only have 1 Pokemon right now, so I'm going to need to catch some more in preparation for this triple battle. So I'll just catch a few on this route here.
So part of the trade-off of running white 2 instead of black 2, that fight is a rotation battle in black 2, and that would actually probably be in some ways a little bit less risky than doing the triple battle, but it would be way slower, like by a huge amount, and also it's harder actually to manage the rotation battle because the enemy can just rotate their thing and you're probably just using your own starters, so...
Yeah, I mean, at least with triple battles you can predict roughly what they're going to do. In rotations they can just, like, do any kind of random stuff, like rotate to this Pokemon and use this move trying to predict your rotation to this Pokemon, and it's just, like, you know, it's just kind of hard to manage. So here's the first Pokemon I'm going to be catching, Minccino. Minccino has a really high catch rate. It's actually a 50% chance for it to get in a Great Ball at full HP, and I can't actually weaken it because I'm just that powerful.
Which I believe is the case for almost every Pokemon on this route. You can't actually weaken them without killing them.
I think it's 2 out of 4 that you can't weaken. I think there's 4 Pokemon you can get on this route, and 2 of them you can't weaken, but 2 of them you can. We'll see what I run into though.
You can also get an Ordinary.
Oh yeah, also an Ordinary. So I guess 2 out of 5. So this Liepard is one thing that I can actually weaken. So I'm going to go for a return and weaken it a bit. And then it should be able to get in.
So there are actually some differences in terms of what you catch here. Like, basically you just need to fill out your team, but at the same time, what you have in your team when you go up against the triple battle will change how their AI decides to go for you. And it's probably a little bit much to explain all the different possibilities, but...
Wait for this guy to...
I don't know. Generally, I've had good luck with Minchino and
I think I'm gonna.
Solaces.
I think I'm like so scared. I'm actually gonna just heal this tiny amount of HP I took because it really could come down to that. I'm considering using different strats with this Liepard and like fake out or something, but I think I'll just flip and heal it. I just not. It's just been a while since I've done these strats, so I'm just gonna heal it and that should be fine. I should win this fight with Liepard because it's bulky-ish, but it might just take a while.
Part of the thing about having Liepard is it can actually, surviving a little bit longer can actually be annoying because it can eat extra XP that you really want Pig Knight to be getting.
Yeah, and also, this is where I'm going to be using rollout, and I can't hit the Pokemon on the right. So if I KO the other two with rollout, and my other two Pokemon are still alive, rollout will end, and I'll have to start it again. So, which is probably what's going to happen here, but I should win with this team, I think. Yeah, the Sigilyph just went right for that light screen. Dang, none of them actually decided to attack me. No, we'll go for Pursuit on something. Okay, Liepard got knocked out, which is nice. But Minchino is still alive. Alright, I'm just going to heal with Minchino now, because I can do that with Minchino's turn. Just like I set up the X items on with the other people's turns. So rather I just ended there, I'm going to have to do it again. But I'm at full HP, so this shouldn't be a huge problem.
Especially if he wastes his turns on wide guard.
So if you end that fight quickly with your rollout uninterrupted, you will get to level 31 on that fight, and you can learn Heat Crash. Now I didn't get Heat Crash in that fight because the experience was split between my party members, so I'm gonna have to use slightly different strats on the next battle. But you know, it's not a huge deal. So this is one of the biggest RNG sections in the run. I have to catch a Ducklett on this bridge. And
the Duck Hunt. I'll tell you what helps with Duck Hunt is Franker Z.
What's annoying is that this bridge has various things in the way, so sometimes I can't see where the little shadows pop up. But you can get wings instead of Ducklett. That wastes a lot of time. I might have missed one because I... Oh, there was one over here. So that's 5, I think, so far. This is the end of the bridge, so I'm just going to hang around here. I can't actually see where this one is. It's over here.
I don't know why you couldn't this end, it just makes it harder, personally.
Oh, there we go.
Hype?
That was 6 wings, which is, you know, not great, but I've had a lot worse. Let's put it that way.
Or was it 28 you got in Prax?
Yeah, something like that. 27, I think it was, but it was 27 or 28, one of those. So I don't want to weaken this anymore, because if you crit a Ducklett, you have to do the whole search again, which kind of sucks. But it didn't get in that Great Ball. I don't actually think a Flame Charge will kill because of the Aqua Ring, so I'm just gonna do that. Man, this is taking like no damage. And I'm gonna have to heal in case I die. I'm not gonna die to Ducklett. Alright, get in. Alright, there we go. We got it eventually.
So yeah, obviously Ducklett is for fly and surf, and that's really all you need it for.
Well,
Oh, no, wait. My bad.
there is actually one other thing, which is coming up pretty soon, actually.
I forgot, in this game, Ducklett is actually a vital component of a strat.
It is true. He's not actually trolling, guys.
Fucking Sinstar.
So it's our first run-in with the black and white one look Team Plasma, who have remained loyal to N and his values of compassion towards Pokemon. They kind of split up into two. There's this faction and the faction we fought earlier. So now he wants to fight me for some reason, because that's how the only way people know how to communicate in this game, apparently, is by having a Pokemon battle. So I would just Heat Crash this thing twice and it would die. If I had Heat Crash, but I don't, so I'm just going to Flame Charge it a few times instead. And now I'm going to learn Heat Crash, which is a really nice move. I don't need draws anymore, so bye-bye. And Heat Crash is a move that's more powerful depending on how much heavier I am than my opponent. So this Swoobat is really light compared to me, so Heat Crash has 120 power against it, so it just goes down in one hit. And because of those flame charges earlier, I'm faster than it. Oh, is it Road? I've been pronouncing it wrong all this time. Ah. Oh well.
I think that depends on how Japanese you are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. So this guy decides he wants to give you a Pokemon after, just after you needed those Pokemon to fight Charles. It's just really nice how after you fight Charles you have to catch a Ducklett and then this guy offers you another Pokemon. Ah, oh well.
Dude, you should take it. It's got high IVs.
Yeah.
I did try traversal on it, but it went rather badly.
Alright, so in this gym, I actually run in front of these guys and have them spot me, because if you talk to them, the exclamation point still pops up. For whatever reason, I guess because it's dark, so they wanted to, I know, I really have no idea why, to be honest. But that's just how it is around here.
Wow, someone completed a pyramid in the chat.
Not bad.
So the last couple Pokemon in this gym are pretty straightforward, but the gym leader fight. So far we've had Cheren, which was really dumb and luck based on speed tie. We had Alessa, who was just awful in many ways, but everything so far has paled in comparison to Clay, who is the absolute soul crusher of this run.
So Heat Crash is actually so powerful that even after Intimidate from Sandal, I still KO it with a Heat Crash every time. Heat Crash is...
Sandal weighs like 4 pounds.
Heat Crash is just really good at this point when there's a lot of lighter Pokemon, when they haven't quite caught up to your Big Knight. So yeah, here we go, we're about to fight Clay, But I'm actually going to need a little bit of help from my friend Minchino, as well as Ducklett. That's my last super, huh? Well, I'll just use my fresh water then.
These completely legitimate strats brought to
Oh,
you
actually, I didn't actually need to heal Minchino. That was a bit dumb. Oh well, whatever. It's fine. I'll have enough healing items. No worries. But yeah, I am definitely saving.
Pray.
This is where what was I saying? What was I even trying to say there? Flame charge really comes into where it really comes into its own, because it sort of counters Clay's signature move. Well, not counters, but it works. But it works to restore my speed, because bulldoze actually lowers my speed. So, and flame charge raises it again. So it's really nice that I have flame charge for this thing. Torment, what are you doing? Just kill me. Thank you. So I just switched to Minchino there to clear Intimidate so that I can 2-hit this Croc Rock. Otherwise he will 2-hit me and I won't be able to do anything about it. So it's time for Ducklett to shine here. Let's go.
God, the strat.
You dodge the bulldoze, and then you lower its attack with Feather Dance. It is basically the greatest strat of all time.
I have seen him use Crush on Ducklett, but he's only ever done it once before, ever.
Yeah, he uses Crush Claw
I
quite a
think
lot.
It's incredibly... No, like on the first turn.
Oh right, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Usually, but almost all the time it's bulldoze, so you can get a free turn with Ducklett.
Yeah, I managed to get it to -4 attack, so this should be alright now. I'm just going to work up once. Okay, well... Yeah, it's just locked into rollout now, so that'll be fine.
The Sandslash's AI does not make any sense.
Yeah, when it's a low attack, it kind of gets confused and decides, oh, none of my moves can do a lot of damage, so I'm just going to use either Fury Cutter or Rollout or Bulldoze or whatever the heck. This Excadrill is actually a range at +1 attack, but I don't think I've ever missed it. Now that I've said that though, okay, well, I got it anyway. That was a bit silly of me to say that, but hey, it worked out.
Alright, congratulations on finishing the run.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
Actually, I guess that's not true. You have to... There's one more thing, then you can finish the run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't return the Sandslash because I needed to counteract the Bulldoze speed drop. I need to be at +1 speed to outspeed Excadrill. So it used Bulldoze on me once, so I had to use 2 Flame Charges so that I could be faster than the Excadrill. It's kind of awkward to tell when that cutscene ends, so I tried to press Y a bit early to get on my bike there.
You know that the sea gear like lights up when you have control again?
Yeah, yeah, but you can actually press Y a little bit before it lights up. It's a bit weird like that. But yeah, this place was all, this place did not exist in Black and White 1. This was all the cold storage. But he decided to get rid of all, Clay decided to get rid of all that, and instead make an area for the Pokemon World Tournament. And the Pokemon World Tournament's just a competition where you fight various various strong Pokemon trainers. Mostly gym leaders, but like once you do post game, you can fight like a big range of people from other regions as well, which is pretty just a nice way of showcasing all the tough tough trainers from different games. But this is a required tournament, this Driftvale tournament, and I can't heal at all during this, so if I die, I don't lose any money, but I have to just do the tournament again. I have to actually win the tournament to progress.
Fortunately, most of the opponents are not that dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, this Duo can be dangerous if Water Pulse crits or confuses me. But it went for revenge, so that's good. Just like to say thanks for all the support going on in chat. It's I know I've sort of been trying to focus on the game quite a bit, but it is nice to like look up and see the all the encouragement and the interest. Not just in this run, but in the marathon in general.
Man, what's wrong with you people? Pokemon games are awful. Why would you be watching this?
Don't listen to Virgin.
He's
just bitter because he doesn't like the RNG in this game. Anyway, so this is the point where, well, the abilities of the Pokemon in here are actually random. It can be. So this guy can have either Intimidate or Sandrush. It looks like he has Sandrush, so that means it's going to save me a turn because I don't have to work up an extra time. It's just a one-turn difference here, but in the next fight it can make a really big difference. Whether the Pokemon has one ability or another. I did use RNG manipulation. And the announcer on the World Tournament always says, oh, you know, these important named trainers, they won really easily. And then when it comes to your match, there's always, oh, it was really close fought, even if it was a one Pokemon sweep. He just really doesn't like me, I guess. So here's Colress, and this is where the ability differences can make. Well, you can actually lose this fight if it has the wrong ability, if you get unlucky. So this Magneton, you want it to have Magnet Pull and not Sturdy. If it has Sturdy, it can survive, and well, it does survive, and it does annoying things to you. Unfortunately, it had Sturdy, so it was good. Yeah, that's usually what happens. It goes for Thunder Wave. And this is where this trolling begins. I just need to break through this and Flame Charge, and after 2 Flame Charges, even though I'm paralyzed, I'm faster than his other 2 Pokemon. But if I get fully paralyzed, it can really throw a spanner in the works. I'm just glad he didn't confuse me with Supersonic while I was paralyzed. But I managed to get through that, despite the bad luck on the ability.
something that I was actually just thinking about while we were talking about other stuff. A question came up about RNG manipulation from Itotaka, who I think is, if I recall the name correctly, is a Japanese Pokemon runner.
Yeah, I definitely recognize his name from Gen 6, for sure.
Yeah. And I think actually within the last year or so, there was actually a point where I think the Japanese community decided to permit RNG manipulation where they didn't used to. So I think that I've seen at least Kokeshi, another Japanese runner, working on black recently. Or I'm sorry, I should say white. And I think he got a 331 RTA, which is basically the same as like a 331 in-game time, I think. So that's actually pretty good in that game. But it's pretty neat to see the Japanese runners doing the same kind of strats that we are at this point now with RNG manipulation, because they weren't previously.
Yeah, this game you can just get a much more solid route down with RNG manip. Like that strat on Elisa that I did with boosting speed, you could not do that if your speed IV was not 31. You would either speed tie or lose or be slower than the Emolga, even after one flame charge. So things like that, you know, the strats could just be completely different to just more general ones for a larger set of starters. So yeah, this is Team Plasma's hideout, basically. It's kind of travels all throughout Unova. You go on it a bunch of times, fight some Plasma grunts, and perhaps some more important people as well. But right now we're just fighting a few grunts. So, like I said before, we have a bunch of 2 versus 2 battles in the game, and we got one with Cheren here. You have to fight this one first before the other one. But he has a really nice. He uses his Stoutland, which is just very powerful, which is a big help. I'm gonna work up turn 1 here and see what Stoutland does. Well, he didn't actually do anything. Thanks, Stoutland, you crazy guy. Because he can just miss with Thunderfang. Good, good. Oh well. We'll just have to play around that. Wow, okay. Interesting. I have never died here before. Wow.
I've never seen any runner ever die to that.
Wow. So that was just some bad luck. I got the crit from Golbat and I mean, it wouldn't have been in that position had Stoutland actually hit its Thunderfang, but what can you do? Chino didn't even die. Please. Ugh. I actually wanna... Do I wanna switch it in? Yeah, what the heck, I'll just switch it in, because... Oh, well, he used Pursuit on me anyway, so goodbye.
That's convenient.
That's actually quite nice though, because it gives me... Actually, no, it doesn't give me any experience from Lipid, because Emboar, no, not Emboar, Pignite wasn't out at that point. Man, oh man. See, that might mess up my experience a little bit, actually. I might have to fight an extra trainer later on. Or an extra wild Pokemon. Maybe.
Do the thing before Skyla still?
Yeah. I need to be Emboar before Skyla.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, you might have to fight.
I might have to fight a wild or the guy with the sunflower.
Just find an odd man.
Just fine, no, yeah, easy, easy, right? It'll be like a Zeb Striker, I'm telling you. Alright, so... hold on, I'm gonna flame charge here and hope that Coughing blows up, basically. Because that'll be quite fast, but he didn't blow up. Thanks, Coughing. I hate you. It's fine, though. This amount of HP is not actually that dangerous. Well, not dangerous at all, to be honest, because Rascate can do nothing to you, and you also kill it in one hit, so... not a problem. And Watchog is just the only way it can deal damage to you is Super Fang. Yeah, in the PWT, when you normally go in the Driftveil tournament, like every other time except the required one, your Pokemon's levels are lowered to 25, and so are all your opponents. But the first time you go through it, it's just your opponents who are at level 25. So, yeah, I guess the announcer was biased against me because I had an unfair advantage.
Oh man, is it time?
I don't actually know what you're talking about, legitimately. It is time for shopping, anyway. I'm going to buy... I'm going to buy 17 of these. And 7 full heals, I think. Oops. I can actually do it properly. I've forgotten what I was doing here. 1 escape rope and 14 max repels, there we go. Alright, so what I assume Revulsion was referring to was it is time to use those red shards to teach a nice move to Pignite. Very helpful move here. Helps cover my weaknesses. Thunder Punch. Very useful, especially for the upcoming gym. Wow, okay, I meant to move 1 tile up and then to the right because she doesn't see you if you're outside the grass, but this is totally strats to get the extra experience I require.
That's right.
I swear. Yeah. This is exactly what I was going for. I don't actually know what this skill. I don't actually know what this skill has. I know I can KO this Minccino with Heat Crash, but I don't know what her other Pokemon is. Oh, it was a Daling. Rip Daling. I know I can kill. I could probably have killed it with Return actually, but whatever.
Well, no, we have to kill 2 Dalings.
I know, man. That's what I get, I guess.
Bible Thump. Actually, more like Bambi Thump. God, I forgot how infested with spinners that route was in this game.
Yeah, there's I mean, that breeder is actually the trainer I shouldn't hit because if you go far to the right, she doesn't see you. But the other 2 I dodged could definitely have seen me, and there's 1 more on this route as well.
And a nice break from spinners out there, at least.
Well, there's a spinner later on that, you know, that you'd have to fight anyway, but it kind of sucks if you hit her too early. You'll see what I mean in a bit. The legend.
Cobalion hype.
Goodbye.
Alright, see ya.
Oh, nice. I managed to avoid that dust cloud, thankfully. I didn't even... They just appear so fast that it's pretty difficult to avoid them if you see one. Usually you see it too late and you're like, whoop, I ran into it. But dust clouds in caves can have either wild Pokemon or items, both of which waste time. Like right there, it appeared right in front of me. I guess that was punishment for me going too far to the left.
Nice water gem, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
So you just basically push these things. There's a few magnetized stones that these things are attracted to that you use to move on. It's quite a cool place actually. I really like this cave. This guy is just kind of annoying and I really don't want to hit him, so I just inch my way past him.
Oh my god, you went over the top of that lady. You're a madman.
No, you can make that if you're fast enough. In fact, you actually have to wait a bit if you're too fast. This is where you get the Master Ball from Juniper. Pretty early actually, but I guess some of the legends are coming up. Well, not soon, but in a little bit. After the next gym, but before the one after that. So after this cutscene, you have basically two choices of what to do. You have to go to Juniper in Celestial Tower at some point, but you also have to fight Skyla. We're going to go to Jupiter first because she gives me a very useful... Can I actually get on the walkway? Very useful item. Alright, I wanted to avoid that spinner because the item is actually the lucky egg, and that gives me 50% more experience with every battle from every Pokemon I KO. So I want to fight her on the way back after I equip the lucky egg. Oh, I forgot the flippin'... I got extra items, so... Okay, so now we're gonna fight her. And this will probably get me to level 36. It usually does. I'm not quite sure if it will, but I think it will because I hit that optionals as well. I used Heat Crash by mistake. I was supposed to use Flame Charge there, to be faster than Chinchino. Let's hope it doesn't do something stupid. It went for Tickle and might not KO now. Dang. Well, I didn't get damaged anyway, and I got to level 36, so it's all good.
GG.
That's why you don't go.
Dang, that was pretty close though.
Try and learn Assurance. Best move in the game.
Oh yeah, it's so good that we try and learn it twice. So here's Embor. I basically cannot beat the next gym without Embor, which is why I thought that optional. So this is a pretty dangerous gym, literally, because it's a massive wind tunnel that just blows this guy right into you.
Whoa, hey. Hey, keep it appropriate.
Skyla just loves these dangerous gyms. In Black and White 1, she shoots you out of cannons, and this one it's a giant wind tunnel. So yeah, if you mess up your movement a bit here, you can hit some trainers you don't want to fight. But hopefully I'll be able to move well enough to avoid that. These green zones are safe zones here. I won't get blown away if I'm in one of these. Right, I probably don't need to save for Skyla, but I'm just a bit worried that something that has never happened before will happen or something, so I'm just going to save here. But this fight is generally not too bad. It's just that her first Pokemon has Attract. I know it has Attract, but it has never used it on me. But one of these days it will. I know it, and it'll be horrible.
Never, huh?
Yeah, never.
You sure I used it on me?
This is basically why I use the X speed, because if it used Attract or Heart Stamp, I could get attracted, or I could, you know, have a turn where I don't do anything. So I can just X speed instead of Flame Charge, and that would. Well, I got crit, nice. I'm just gonna reset that actually. I could just revive and heal, but honestly, I might as well just reset and keep my revive for something else. So yeah, let's try that again. Alright, that's more like it. Now with Ignite, either I don't outspeed the Swanna with a Flame Charge or I don't KO with a Thunder Punch. I can't remember which one it is, but it's bad news anyway. So that's why you need Embor. Aircaster could kill me here, but it's a pretty low chance, so we'll just go right for the Flame Charge Heat Crash. I'm in Blaze, so that is more damage than usual. I've actually failed to kill with Flame Charge and Heat Crash before, so it's quite nice to be in Blaze there, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a damage range, but a very, very favorable one.
Yeah. There we go. Safety. Safety first, guys. Don't try this at home. There's only a plane right there. I'm just lucky I stopped before that. So for a while now, we've basically been following the routes that we would follow in Black and White 1, just from Castelia City onwards. We've been travelling the same path. But it's going to change now because Twist Mountain is closed. I can't remember why. I think it's blocked or something. So we're going to fly to a new place that's new to Black and White 2. So here we go. There's
just
really,
enjoying the music.
yeah, there's really nothing to do here, but it is quite nice that you have, well, you have this cutscene so you can hear the music a little bit. That was pretty neat, actually. Okay, I'm going to teach Surf and Fly to Ducklett here, because I'm going to need to at some point. Doesn't matter what I teach over at all, to be honest. I'm done using it for battles. Oops. One-tile movement, man.
Doors. And stairs.
So here's Traversal Mountain. This is another place that's different in Black and White 1. It's like not as fiery, and you have to fight an extra trainer. So I'm going to take these 2 extra steps here out wide are intentional, because I can just run straight past this guy who just likes to turn towards you otherwise you have to wait for him. This next fight is kind of dangerous, but whatever, we'll just go for it.
One of the worst fights in the game.
You seem to be saying that an awful lot, Volition.
There are a lot of worst fights in the game. The funny thing in this game is, even though you manipulate your stats to be perfect, there are so many fights that are still just ridiculously hard.
Alright, I'm hoping that Mashana attacks Vibrava here. It won't quite KO, but I can finish it off with Flame Charge, and then I can be faster than the Grumpig. Nice. Good stuff. So now I'm faster than Grumpig, but it's still going to KO me, so I'm going to have to heal up. Dang man, these guys are going in, I'm going to have to heal again. Usually Camera Up just likes to go for Curse, but it actually attacked me that time. Okay, this is quite unusual just to have one Pokemon left. Usually Camera Up sticks around for a while, but not this time.
Grumpig is particularly annoying too because of his Zen Headbutt spam.
Yeah, it can flinch you as well, which is kind of sucks if you haven't sped up. So I can KO this Drifloon now with Heat Crash because I'm in Blaze. And then after this battle, Bianca fully heals your Pokemon.
For a very long time, I thought that Scientist right after the double battle was spam.
Yeah, he actually just checks your habitat list or something. Surprise rival battle! This guy is not so bad, but this is the first time you fight him with all his fully evolved guys. So things are actually catching up, well, even starting to surpass you a bit in terms of levels and power and all that jazz. Taunt is good though. Taunt is very good because it can do that, or it can attack me with Air Slash. So here's another thing that I imagine would be a bit harder if you didn't have RNG manipulate for your defense. You survived 2 hits from Aquajet, but I could definitely see you dying to 2 hits if your defense happened to be bad.
Even just a little bit lower would be enough.
Blaze powers fire type attack moves up by 50%. Dude, I love that swag cutting across the face of the black belt strat. Dude, I didn't see the shaking grass. Oh my gosh, get out of here! I do not need any more experience at this point, so I'm just gonna let this go.
Nah, dude, come on. You should.
No, go. No, I don't need it.
If you had a fighting move, you wanted it.
Oop. That girl. Normally you can just go straight past her, but because that odd know she was right there, I'm lucky she wasn't facing towards me.
Sick dodges, dude. Yo, Cobalion, you missed him. Oh my god.
What? I didn't see it. I didn't see Cobalion. I think you're lying to me.
Oh, man, you're skipping everything good.
I think there might be more things later, but we'll have to see.
This is another place where there's a nice cutscene that lets you hear the Lacanosa Town music. This was a post-game area in the original Black and White, as was Undella Town, which is where I fought my rival. Like you went the whole the whole east side of Juniper was basically post-game only. So it's quite nice that you get to go here during the main story in this game. Oh, I was supposed to say no to her. Oh well, it doesn't matter really. Just a bit slower to say yes.
I think Professor Juniper is my favorite scientist of all time because her method of research is to go listen to an old man talking.
That was an old woman, by the way, just saying.
Sorry, old whatever. I didn't pay attention. I mean, that's basically scientific research, right?
Yeah, totally. I was like, well, I could go talk to Drayden, but why do you do that, you know? Must be nice having a bunch of kids who you can just say, hey, you might as well go over here. It'll help on your it'll help on your Pokemon quest, honestly. I swear. Light screen is not a problem, because no special attacks here. Not yet, anyway.
It begins.
Alright, after this level up, this Thunder Punch is a 9 in 16 range on this Golbat. So it's in my favour, but I might not KO, but it's not going to KO me at this health anyway, so even if I hadn't KO'd there, it's not a huge deal. And Samurot's actually helpful and KOs that Sneasel, which is nice. Don't worry guys, Samurott won't always be this helpful. I'm gonna heal that small amount of HP with my fresh water here, because Samurott will KO with Aqua Jet anyway, so... and it's nice to be at full HP for the next fight. Oops. There's rare candy here. I kind of watched the movement a little, but there it is. I'm gonna use that much later. The bonks, dude. I just kind of stood there for a while because, like, if I go, is she gonna see me? She probably wouldn't have, though. So I surf I surf below Village Bridge there, because on the bridge there's a guy who wants to battle you. He, like, has won 99 battles in a row and is looking for his 100th win. But because we're going to beat him anyway, we're just going to be nice to him and not fight him, so that he can find some other hapless sucker to beat. I just what? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see anything.
Versim is actually Alder in disguise.
It is true. This black belt. Sometimes he can be nice, but he wasn't nice this time. So here's the PP item I pick up, this elixir here, on my way to do some shopping. Alright, so I'm gonna buy... I think I forget how many of these exactly I buy, but I think it's like 10 and 20 is more than enough. And this is enough for 5 max potions as well. I'm gonna need these later on, these max potions, like at the very end of the game. Usually, but hyper potions are generally good enough to tide you over. There we go, move to the side this time, guys. I'm a legitimate speedrunner of this game.
GG, save the frames. Kill the animals. Which you do seem to be actively doing.
Yep. So this fracture is a damage range. It can do some big damage to you with a dragon claw. We'll see what it does though. It went for dragon dance. I'm gonna actually go for flame charge because it's probably gonna dragon claw or taunt, and I don't think I can KO with another return. So now I'm gonna be faster than it again, and I can KO it with return here. I just wasn't confident enough in that range to go for it. And now we're going to learn Flamethrower. It's quite convenient that you learn it at this timing actually, because I've bought my X speeds now, so its speed upping effect is just not so desirable anymore because I just have my X speeds, and it's just lagging behind in power compared to my other attacks. Gonna need to heal for this next fight. Let's not forget that. Can I just get in the bag though? You can choose which trainer to fight here. The guy on the right is just very dangerous for Embor. Like, while you're setting up, he can just kill you, so... just fight the girl on the left instead, because she's more defensive. Her fracture has Protect, Substitute, Swagger, and Dual Chop, so... yeah, that gives you an idea of kind of defense I'm talking about. I actually went for Dual Chop. It's quite rare that it goes for an attack. Usually it uses its other more trolly moves like Substitute. I'm actually going to sort of... do I want to break that now? Yeah, I think I want to break that now. On the off chance, use a Swagger. Dude, I'm actually going to have to heal against this fracture. Usually it doesn't bother attacking me, but this time it's actually being quite aggressive. There's the Swagger. So I have to set it to +3. I'm at +4 now after that Swagger, so That's all my setup done. I can KO it with return. Dude, this Druddigon. I don't know if it's ever used Protect on me.
I actually didn't even know that one had Protect.
Yeah, I don't think I did either, to be honest. Well, that was actually quite a bad fight. Usually things go smooth in that. Like, if it uses Swagger early on, then it just saves you having to use several X attacks. Now this next one is a choice between a rotation battle and a triple battle. I'm going to go for the triple battle. Because I can set up my Emboar with my other Pokemon's turns like I did against Charles. And also, this is also helpful, it's also good because this way I can actually get my Pokemon to faint, which I actually want before the next fight. So after doing 2 X attacks, that's enough to take out the XU. And then hopefully my other 2 Pokemon will faint from the other guy's attacks. Right, that's that one down. Minccino is frailer than Lipid, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now we're going to send Ducklett out.
Good old Ducklett. He'll save us.
And with Ducklett's turn I can use my final X attack and then just one-hit this guy's Druddigon Fracture. Being a high-level Ducklett's quite nice because a lower-level Ducklett levels up with that experience you get from Druddigon. And if it's level 23 it can even learn a move at level 24. Alright, if on this fight I could be really safe and just like always heal out of range of any crit, but I'm just a bit worried about if I do that I might run low on healing items, so I'm gonna save. Because if I get crit, then my other Pokemon get revived, and that's very bad for this fight. So this guy's signature move is Dragon Tail, and Dragon Tail will swap you out if you have any other Pokemon in your party that that can battle. And that ruins your setup, and you need to set up quite a lot against this guy.
How convenient that all of your Pokemon are fainted.
Yeah. So I need 3 X attacks and 1 X speed. We're gonna just heal here, just not with a max potion, just on the off chance I get crit. I used 3 X attacks, so I just have to use my X speed now. And then I can sweep. There's just a bit of a level jump from Skyla to Drayden, so you sort of lag behind a bit in levels for a while, but but the extra experience you get from Lucky Egg really shines through later on in the game.
So now, it's time for a little bit of an interlude.
Yeah, if by interlude you mean basically
Annoying
shutting
waste of
down
time.
a city. Well, it's not like you do that, but I'm sure the inhabitants would be quite offended to call that an interlude.
Well, it sucks for them. They shouldn't have lived here. It's a crappy city.
Wow. So Drayden's going to tell me a bit more about the legend of Cheren, but he's not going to tell me in the gym because that's a place for battling. We've got to go to his home, and then he'll tell me about it. This place looks. I don't know if I'd want to live here. You know, just these white floors and white walls. It's kind of a little bit unsettling, I think.
I don't know, man. It looks fun.
I mean, I know this is
Welcome.
white too, but come on,
It's got that feng shui going on there.
does it? I didn't
don't
see
know,
it.
Maybe. Suddenly,
Team Plasma's ship can fly. So yeah, things just got real here. Blasted giant icicles in Oplucid City.
PogChamp.
Dude, Drayden just ordering his hackers to turn around next to that ice thing is just so ridiculous. And this'll work, surely. No.
Quick, go next to that giant block of ice and pirouette.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll do it.
Somehow it didn't work though, so looks like the problem's not going to go away. Gonna go away that easily.
The problem is probably that his Haxorus is fainted. He should go to the Pokemon Center first.
That's a rookie mistake. So a bunch of Team Plasma battles coming up here. It can help out a little bit if I'm in Blaze. We'll just see how things go though. I'm just outside of Blaze right now, I think. Yeah, not quite in Blaze. So this marks the damage range. But we got it. So we gotta fight a few grunts here before Zinzalin shows up again. Zinzalin was the guy we fought before with the Cryogonal. Now hopefully this Garbodor will just use Sludge Bomb and put me to Blaze. But he went for Toxic instead. Which is fine.
Actually, don't know if I've ever seen him use Toxic.
It's used it quite a lot for me. I'm actually going to keep this poison because on the next fight, 1 tick of poison will put me into blaze. Oops. If I can just fight this guy. Now this Viper is actually a range outside of blaze with flamethrower. It's only just above 50% chance to KO, but it'll be fine. What could go wrong? See, easy. And then I get put into nicely into blaze for the squeezing. And down it goes to a heat crash. 57 HP is probably fine, actually. Well, maybe.
Oh god.
Yeah, it'll be okay. It'll be fine. I will have to heal poison though, for sure. Yeah. Use a full heal. Alright, so these Crowdnall are faster than me. I'm gonna have to use an X speed to fix that. Oops, it's already my last used item. Nice. Yeah, Crowdnall has a few moves that can just mess with you a bit. It has Confuse Ray, Reflect. The second one does Light Screen instead of Reflect, but Reflect is annoying. But we Val has Ice Shard, but at this range it's not going to kill, so I can safely go for Heat Crash. Or Flamethrower, in fact, because I'm in Blaze. So this is the real reason why Drayden goes to the center, because he can just heal Pokemon at any time, apparently. Like, a bunch of trainers in this game seem to have that ability, except you. Luckily, they're all very generous and decide they want to heal your Pokemon up once in a while.
Neat DNA splicers.
Yeah, he's like, hey, here they are. I sure hope somebody doesn't steal them. And then, of course, somebody steals them.
Without touching him.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
They just have them. Like,
yep.
Alright.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, it's kind of slow to be on the ice, but I usually mess up like the intricate one-tile movement used to try and avoid the ice, so yeah, I just was a bit weak there, I guess.
So the bike in this game moves 1 tile every 4 frames. So if you want to do 1 tile adjustment, you have to switch your direction for 1 moment and then switch back less than 4 frames later, so yeah.
Yep. Often you just end up going two spaces instead of 1, and that can really mess you up in places.
Or turning on the rock tile or whatever. Yeah,
that Absol was a range there with Heat Crash, but it just went for Sword Dance, so no problem. No problem. It's not a favourable range anyway, 6 in 16, whatever percentage that is, 37.5 I think.
Cheerio, bye-bye, whatever.
Yep. So now we're going to go to another place that's new to Black and White 2, Castelia City. So just as we're heading towards the marine tube, Hugh calls you to say, you know, you should really go through the marine tube. So yeah, thanks Hugh. Or H as I named him. Let's see what Pokemon we can spot. Actually, I can't really see any. Goodness me, where are they all? Oh, there's a Basculin. There we go. We saw a Basculin.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Basculin.
Have to talk to him there because if you don't, if you try and go past him, there's an exclamation point that pops up. So you just have to go over here because Marlon's swimming around. He's the gym leader, so. And then we can go in the gym. And as you might be able to tell, this is a water-type gym, so... But it's not actually that bad because we have Thunder Punch and we've got a lot of levels recently.
Of course, you could always get crit by that Fluxel.
There is that, yes.
But fortunately, at this point, if you like take a death or something, it's not that huge a deal. Like the friendship loss practically doesn't matter.
Yeah, you lose one friendship and you just get it back pretty much straight away from either moving a certain number of steps or leveling up. So these guys are spinners, but they don't turn towards you when you run either, so... It's like the first guy, the first spinner we went past, so that's quite nice. You can just run and they don't turn towards you. They're rotators more than spinners, but they usually go towards you, turn towards you in other games if you run.
Did you say rotators?
I did, yeah. Sorry.
Wow,
Is that a problem?
Heard that term in ages.
Yeah, you know, it exists.
That's how you know Garf is true old school.
So I'm just going to max repel here, just on the off chance I don't have to menu before Marlin, because it doesn't really make a difference whether I max repel here or max repel a bit later on. We'll just see what happens in this battle though. This Golduck is a very low chance range, like 1 in 8 I think. So, but it used Soak, which is quite nice, because, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what type I am, really. In particular, this Starmie doesn't know any water attacks anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference whether I'm water type or fire type. But it can do that and go for Confuse Ray. Like I say though, its most powerful attack is Swift, so we're going to just try and go through Confusion there. I didn't KO, that's a 7 in 8 range that I missed there. Nice. Dang, that sync. Unfortunately, I am going to have to heal before Marlin. But never mind.
So Marlin is pretty much, you're just hoping that he does something other than what, Scald?
Yeah, you just don't want him to use. You don't want him to use Scald. If he does use Scald, you can work around it though.
Yeah, it's just annoying, and if he doesn't, you can save a turn, or sorry, several turns overall.
Yeah, I didn't save just because this is generally not a very dangerous fight. Yeah, it went for Shell Smash there. Shell Smash sharply raises Caracosta's speed, but Caracosta's slow as dirt, so I'm still faster.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what you want is for him to use Shell Smash. That's the ideal.
And now I use my X attack here on the Wailord because I can't KO this in one hit. But if I'd used my X attack on what's it called, Caracosta, I couldn't have KO'd it anyway. And it also has Sturdy, I think. I'm pretty sure it has Sturdy and not.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So even if you could kill it, you know, it wouldn't work out. So this is nice. I didn't take any damage at all.
We've looked for some ways to not have to use the X attack on this fight, because that would make it. Because the thing is, if you take damage on Caracasta, then you have to heal up on Warlord, because otherwise he'll kill you during the setup turn. The only way that we've really been able to find is to go get a metronome, and the metronome is like a 30 to 50 second detour. I forget the number. In Lacunosa town, so it's really not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, he often goes for Shell Smash anyway, but if he does go for Scald, you have to switch out and heal, basically. So that's the last gym in the game, but it's actually quite a while until the end of the game. There's a bunch of stuff we have to do before heading to the Pokemon League. Got to deal with Team Plasma, mainly. That's the big thing.
So now you're gonna catch Terrakion, right?
Yes, actually. So you have to go over here so that Colrus gives you the Colrus machine, and you use that to progress in another area. So I am in fact going to catch Terrakion, because there's a forced double battle later on that Terrakion speeds up quite a lot, and you also need a Pokemon that knows Strength.
So wait. Are you and Sinstar just like trolling the crap out of me here, or have I just somehow missed some sort of route development recently?
No, you just you don't catch Terrakion in the Excadrill route, but you catch it in the Emboar route. Still.
Wait, are you just actually doing the Emboar route?
Yeah, it's true. That's why I have a level 54 Emboar right here.
I thought you were kidding, though.
This guy.
I was like, when are you gonna get your intro?
Will you stop? This guy is such a troll, I can't believe it. Alright, so let's switch Terrakion to the front for that double battle, and... So I just hopped down there to get a rare candy. If I didn't hop down there, it would be faster to bike back than flying, but that's just a really nice rare candy to get, just because all you have to do is jump down. So yeah, this girl's a spinner. She can face up or down, but I really don't care if I hit her or not, because if I hit her, I just go around the back of her. But if I don't, I go around the side and fight someone else. So it's just not...
Turns out to be like 3 seconds faster to go around her.
Yeah, it's a little bit faster. It's just not worth waiting for her to turn. Because she could be stuck looking up for quite a while.
Not a lot to talk about at this point, huh? There's not really a whole lot going on.
Yeah, you just beat a bunch of guys here. If I was...
It's a good Raven there. I heard Vibab was very good with this.
Yeah, this would rather than like the last one, you can just KO in one hit with return. Now we're gonna learn Head Smash. No, we're not. We already learned head smash, or didn't learn it. I forgot it was roar now. Roar after head smash. Good stuff. Now this flamethrower has a 50% chance to kill, and I got it. Nice.
Sinstar, while you're here, do you want to contribute a sort of knowledge about the historical development of this game and the route and so on?
The only thing I would say is this game has had a lot of different routes. Because before we knew how to manipulate the starter, it was not obvious.
I saw the cutscene activator just there.
It was not obvious how to beat the game the fastest, and mainly because of this segment in the Team Plasma battles. Embo really struggles here compared to a lot of things that you can catch on the late game. Specifically a Steel type, because Team Plasma have a lot of things like Poison and Steel types themselves, which are kind of difficult to beat with Fire type. So, like, the immunity can be nice if you had here, but with an RNG manipulated Ember, it's not really an issue. So you can get through the section quite well. But without RNG manipulation, Ember really struggles here.
Yeah, I don't remember what stopped us from really doing RNG manipulation at first. And I know that Sinstar, you had a route, like, before I even started running this game, where you were using Emor and then picking up Drober and going to X control. I think you were getting him, at that point you were getting him before Berg?
Yes, because Elisa was pretty difficult with a pretty bad Ember, and also Charles Swan was a really tough one.
Yeah, that was without manipulation too, so those were really, really rough. And then I came along and I was like, I had already run black, so I knew there was RNG manipulation, and we just had to do the experimentation to figure out that.
The trickiest thing about working on RNG manipulation for this game is the fact that you don't immediately get your starter in the same room that you start the game up. So there was a bit of walking, and the NPCs advance the RNG. So it's slightly tricky to work that out than just standard RNG. Not readily available information out there telling you how to manipulate this, so it took a while to work out exactly how it worked.
And even then, it still requires every runner to do a whole bunch of manual experimentation, so it's not super fun or easy for anyone. So even when I started running this game, it was on Emulator just because it was so much less of a pain.
It's effectively trial and error to get your nature correct in this game on console. You just have to constantly reset by trying different seats and movement patterns until you get the nature you want.
But yeah, the current Ember route that Garfield's using is kind of it's like a three-way combination of, I started a route with a manipulate Ember, and then Sinstar built up a lot of the late game parts of it, and he came out with the clay strat that used Ducklett and so on. And then Garfield came in and changed from Adamant Nature to Naughty Nature, and so it's kind of a combination of all those different things. But this actually, like, normally Garf uses an X control route. I'm actually curious on why you're using Ember for this.
No, my record is with the Ember route.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I totally didn't even realize that. I could have sworn.
He switched sometime late last year.
Damn, dude, I could have sworn I had, like, actually watched that run and that X was still the thing.
No. No, I thought I would try it out because I mean, I just, when it was kind of, I didn't know whether the X-Real route or the Ember route was faster, so I thought the X-Real route looked, pretty interesting, so I just did that for quite a long time. And then I thought, well, what if the Emerald route is faster? So I just did a bit of routing there, and yeah. And it's more consistent for sure. And I think it's probably even a little bit faster, but
no one really knows.
Yeah, we're not really sure, but
Well, the time comparison is extremely complex.
The only thing for sure is that Excadrill requires a lot more luck to get a really, really good run off.
yeah, because you have to. We're talking about dust clouds earlier. You can only find Drillbur in those dust clouds, and it could be an item, it could be an onyx. You can't take Drillburs of a certain level. It's just.
What you mean is it's always an onyx.
It's just you need a lot of luck.
Not only that, we can't manipulate the Drillbur, like its stats.
Yeah.
We can't manipulate whether it spawns or its stats for that matter.
If you could manipulate an Excadrill really powerful, it would be a lot faster than Ember in the late game. Whether it would be faster enough to make it up with catching is pretty much impossible to know. But at this point, there's not really any point in testing just because you can't manipulate.
Yeah, the main advantage Excadrill has over Ember is it has Earthquake, which is a multi-target move for use in double battles, and it has Swords Dance, which is just a really fast way of boosting your stats.
Yeah, I do want to go back and look at comparison between the two routes when I go look back at this game later this year.
Actually, responding to there's a chat question about being able to RNG the dust clouds, and actually, it is probably possible.
Sounds like a nightmare.
And then you do basically the same level of like sub-second perfect RNG manipulation starting the game at the right time. You could probably get consistent dust cloud results. However, that would require an insane amount of experimentation to find one that worked. Because you have to manipulate the fact that the dust cloud appears, the fact that a Drillbur spawns in it, and then on top of that, the stats and the nature. But not only that, but we don't allow save and reset in glitchless runs because we use game time.
So that door I just went in is you can be one of 5 passwords, but it depends on your trainer ID, and it's always the same for the trainer ID I have. I think the Japanese community actually found out that the way it's determined is your trainer ID, you divide it by 256, take the remainder of that, divide that by 5, and then if that remainder is 0, it's the password's Reshiram, if it's 1, the password's Zekrom, and then if it's 2, it's 2202, if it's 3, if it's 7, 707, and if it's 4, it's 9909.
Yeah, I believe that was specifically Punyata who found that for us.
Okay. So Samurott can be a bit quite helpful here, if it chooses to be.
Encore.
It's not. It's going to go for Aquatail. It should go for Aquatail because it can KO Watchog or Cryogonal with it. It's only when it like can't KO things that it just decides, hey, I'm gonna be a troll and use Encore. This has gone pretty well so far, actually. That Cryogonal did set up a light screen, but in a double battle, light screen isn't as effective as in a single battle. It reduces special attacks to 75% of their original power rather than, rather than 50%. So I can just KO this with Flamethrower, even if I wasn't in Blaze. I'm gonna have to heal here, I think, because I think Weavel's gonna use Ice Shard at this HP. I think it has it still. Yeah, I went for Slash, well, that's fine. I mean, I was slow. I think I was slower anyway. I don't know what I was talking about there. Weavel's pretty fast. So we get teleported out again. You wonder why they don't just use that all the time, but then we wouldn't have a Pokemon game, really. Just be like, well, evil team wins. They can teleport you anywhere to like the middle of the ocean or something. RIP, good game.
That'd be a little too dark. Surely
Yeah.
Pokemon would never have something as dark as attempted murder.
You're probably right. I'm trying to think of a time when there might have been... Oh, no, wait, yeah, you're right, never mind. Wow, I actually completely forgot.
Oh man, so another chat comment about how you could easily RNG the starter to be shiny. So easy is not really the term that you want. Yes, you can manipulate the starter to be shiny, and I've done that a couple of times in black, where it's way easier to manipulate. The thing is, the shininess is based on a combination of the RNG that determines your nature and your trainer ID and secret ID. So in order to get your Pokemon to be shiny, you need to get a combination of your trainer ID, secret ID, which are set when you create the file, and the particular nature seed that you get, so that those result in a shiny Pokemon. And getting those two things to line up on just doing new game is damn near impossible. So you would need to start a new game, save the game, reload with a different seed, and then use that new seed combined with the old one that gave you a trainer ID, whatever, to get a shiny. It's a huge pain in the ass, and pretty much is only interesting for stuff like marathon runs, and even then, it's very complicated to try to even figure that out. Like, it would take days of just hours of work every day for Garfield to find a seed combination that would work.
So I exited Giant Chasm on the south side there, because that sets my escape route point for later. It's actually slightly slower to do that than just escape route back to the east side, but there's like there's a narrow path that you go down that could easily just spawn a dust cloud and waste a fair bit of time. Like we're talking like less than a second that it saves by not going to the south side. So it's just much better for consistency. It's not worth saving that small amount of time. You know, if you risk losing much more.
Yes, that's the kind of thing that's often a lot of routing for Pokemon games. Like, it may be actually faster to do a certain strat, but on average, the time loss will, from the death card on the average run, will kind of add up to the point where it's not the correct play to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just very rare that that smaller time save would make the difference between, say, because the in-game time is like in minutes, so it's just not very likely at all that saving that amount of time would mean that you get a time that's a minute faster than you would have got had you used the slower but more consistent strat. Especially in a run of this length. So we gave you max revives there, which is quite nice in case something goes wrong, but nothing will go wrong, you know, it'll be fine.
Nothing has gone wrong in this run, right?
Yeah, exactly. So here's that double battle that I was talking about. That crustal that we ran into earlier, I have thought about using it for this double battle, but it's just basically pretty useless in this fight, to be honest. Terracion's much more helpful, saves a bunch of turns. And
yeah, Terrakion actually works out surprisingly well for this fight.
Yeah.
It is too bad that Terrakion is so underleveled by 12 when you get him, because Terrakion definitely has the best stats of all the legendaries.
Yeah, I mean, look at it, it's faster than me, even though I'm 13 levels higher. That's actually what usually happens. Terrakion is usually faster than you. It's actually a bit better if it's slower than you, but It could say it, but whatever. It's fine. It's not a huge deal.
In fairness, Tubig is slow as garbage, and so are his evolutions.
So yeah, you can just take out the Scraggy and Scrafty with a nice Sacred Sword there. Now this next one would be where being slow would be a bit better, because if I KO'd the Garbodor with Flamethrower, Terrakion would only have one target to hit with Rock Slide, and when it hits two targets, the power is reduced, so it does less damage. So this Whirlipede survives, but that's fine. It didn't get anything off, so no big deal. Oops, thought there might have been a cutscene there, but the cutscene's actually after the warp. And this is the pipe maze. You have to go. You have to step on a bunch of warp panels, hit a bunch of buttons to deactivate that barrier. And the fastest way to do it is to go past this spinner here. There we go, got him. You can do it without going past him, but it's just a bit slower, so... I don't know, your mileage may vary on whether it's worth it or not.
Yeah, there's an alternate route that's not that much slower and does not cross any spinner paths, I believe.
Not that difficult to dodge spins in this game, but...
Yeah, but that guy, all the spinners we've come across so far, you can just run past. That guy you have to walk past. Oops.
Incidentally, there's a max elixir here, and there's just no need to get that. Normally in this type of game, you'd kind of want that at the end to just get your last PP refresh.
Yeah, but I have one elixir, and that is all I need. Again, these Triagonal are still faster than me, so I'm going to use next speed. Yeah, I'm going to heal that. Don't particularly fancy being confused. I'm just glad I didn't use Reflect, because that can slow things down. These Trigonal have a lot of special defense, so Flamethrower is a damage range, and they're not light enough that Heat Crash does loads to them. Okay, so I'm right here, so I'll just use the elixir there, and then hyper up. And do I want to save before Colress? I think I'll be fine. I have max revives. What's the problem?
Ripperino.
You said that
Also,
in both of your practice runs. I think at both times you got away with it. But
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Colress
fine.
being
your
high.
curse
I did-
will...
I mean, yeah, I didn't faint in those runs either. It is. I suppose you could theoretically. Something could go catastrophically wrong here, but I mean that's not going to happen in a marathon, right?
Not much to-
This is where the dreaded sturdy comes back. This Magneton has sturdy, so I have to weaken it slightly before knocking it out. If I get lucky, I can actually paralyze it with Thunder Punch.
Abby doesn't believe in you, girl.
He likes to paralyze me too, so I'm gonna have to heal that off. And then he's just gonna switch it, use Volt Switch like that. His Magnezone also has sturdy, so same deal there. Look at that. Look at those paralysis strats. Get in. So that full paralysis on Magnezone meant that I didn't take a discharge, which means that this fight is basically won at this point, because I'm way out of range of Kling-Klang's Giga Impact, so he's just going to use Shift Gear.
God, I love that music.
This game is really strong on music, just all over, really.
I love the cowardly grunt who just runs away.
It's like, you think he's gonna fight you, and then he's like, no, I'm just gonna run. You already beat Colruyt, what chance do I have realistically? So there he is, gets us. He was the bad guy all along. So in black and white, yeah, in black and white, his goal is basically to try and manipulate people into doing his bidding. And this one, he's just like, oh, forget that. That didn't work. I'm just going to be really evil and, you know, hit things with ice cannons and harness the power of Kyurem and all that stuff.
Agreed.
I might not get to level 62 after the next fight. Well, we'll see. I think it's gonna be pretty close. Because my experience kind of went up and down a bit, but I got quite a lot from that, so hopefully I'll get to level 62 off the next fight, because that after this next fight is when I would want to use my rare candies. But I'm not going to use them unless I'm at level 62. If I don't get a level 72 here, I'll just use them after the next fight instead.
Still going for the Kyurem Blaze strats.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So when he gets to level 62, he's gonna learn Flare Blitz, which is an amazing move. And he's going to try and take advantage of the recoil damage to put himself into his range.
Yep, and that's the plan.
Before he goes on to fight Kyurem.
Okay, there we go, I got level 62, so here's Flare Blitz. Gonna teach over Heat Crash because, well, I mean, it's 120 power is as powerful as Heat Crash gets, and Flare Blitz is already that powerful, so, you know, it's always that powerful, rather, so the only disadvantage is, of course, the recoil. But the other moves are just still very useful for those times when Flare Blitz isn't the best option. This Axel goal put me into blaze. It's faster than me, so it does a bit of damage, and then I can get myself nicely into blaze there. It's nice to be at the higher end of blaze, because Curum, you have to fight Curum soon, and it always dies to a blaze flare blitz, but it can outspeed you if you're not lucky, and so being at a bit higher HP means that you can survive a hit, potentially.
Oh man, I'm so hype. These cutscenes.
So yeah, this is the part I completely forgot about, where Getsis tries to flipping kill you with Curum's Glaciate here. It's about to stab you with those icicles.
No, it's fine. They're gonna freeze you. That's what he says. Freeze.
Yeah, sure. Those points tell me otherwise.
It's fine though. The giant like flare exploding above your head. That's certainly not going to incinerate you.
Yeah, good thing I was wearing my fireproof cap, right?
Oh man, splice that DNA.
I should intentionally disconnect my 3DS, you know, just to go with the splicing theme.
Wow, rude. I just love the tiny little T-Rex hands it has.
How much from here? Probably about 25 to 30 minutes. Yeah, I think it's more like 30 minutes. Because you have this cutscene, you have a few battles. Oops. Alright, so this Kyurem, you can't catch it because Ghetsis' cane emits some kind of signal that disrupts Pokeballs or some garbage like that. And you can't just run away either because you just have to fight again if you do that, so the only option is to knock it out with a Blaze Flare Blitz ideally. So yeah, it was faster than me, but because I was high enough HP it wasn't a problem. It doesn't matter if I faint here, by the way.
I'm so hyped for this music.
Yeah, this is like an insane, a slightly more insane remix of Ghetsis' theme from Black and White, which is pretty cool. I want to avoid Psychic from this Koffagri, because the Toxic is also not that great, to be honest. So I have to heal that off. I actually have a Pet Charm. I think I'll just use the Pet Charm. I don't want to run out of full heals. There you go. Yeah, there's the Psychic. That kind of sucks. Oh well. Nice crits. Totally didn't need it though. Alright. The only scary thing about this strat here is that you're slower than Ghetsis' Hydreigon, and it could knock me out with Dragon Rush from this HP. Well, no, actually, no, it couldn't. Never mind. I'm actually at too high HP. If Earthquake did a bit more damage, it could have KO'd. Oh, I dodged it. This might not KO in that case because he has a Life Orb, and that had, and he takes recoil damage from it, so that guarantees the return range. What am I at here? No, this is fine. But like without the Dragon Rush recoil, the Life Orb recoil rather, it's a 50-50 range with return.
So now you get his cane, which is a really powerful weapon that can do, oh wait, sorry. Got it again.
Yeah, not quite. Alright, so gonna teach where the heck is his strength to Terrakion now, because I need to push some boulders in Victory Road. And then we'll escape rope out of there. I'm used to XY where it's at the bottom. I shouldn't need to heal here, the HP will be fine. Oops. Now this spinner coming up is kind of awkward to get past. Because you try and get past him on your bike. He like he turns towards you here, and you have to like go here, and then yeah, there we go. Now I'm past him. But I was a little bit worried about hitting that guy. If you go like a little bit too far forward with your bike, you can just mess everything up.
This is the second major sort of run of this game. One on Route 6 and then here.
So here I get Waterfall, which I won't use. Sorry guys.
Yeah, you don't actually use a lot of HMs in either of the Gen 5 games, at least not for required content.
Yeah, you need Surf and Strength, but that's it. And Fly is helpful.
I think they decided to cut down on the HM.
It's too bad. I was really looking forward to defogging.
Yeah.
Anyway, Victory Road is pretty complex and challenging in this game, in terms of there's a fair number of spinners to dodge. There's a couple trainers with fairly decent Pokemon selection, at least compared to Black and White 1. And there's some interesting movement, so it's pretty neat. It's a good part of the speedrun IMO.
Yeah, this first skill is required. And you take a fair bit of recoil from her, but this HP is just good enough to get away with the recoil I take from this trainer. Because her Drifblim has an ability called Aftermath, which means that if I KO it with a move that makes contact like Thunder Punch, I will take 25% of my max HP in recoil. Alright, now I'm gonna deregister the bike and register. I think I can get away with using a max potion here. I don't think I need all 5 just to get a max HP, but I can register this because I won't need to get off my bike from now on. I won't need to use my bicycle again to get back on it, so I can just use Y to open the medicine menu from now on. Alright, so I'm so scared of this guy. Okay, he's just stuck there, so whatever. Now this guy is the annoying one because he sees all the way up there. You have to just move all the way up to the top of the grass to avoid him. He's not even a spinner, but he's just so awkward. So that top girl is a spinner, but this bottom guy is not, so I have to fight him. At least, but hopefully I can dodge her. She's actually the last spinner in the game, so hopefully I can get past her. Unfortunately, she was facing down before this battle, so I can't just go straight past her. I'm gonna have to wait a little bit. Hopefully, she's not too bad. Okay, good. Now I have to go through this dark room because otherwise, you can go around, but you'd have to fight an extra trainer if you did. So I have to navigate this in the dark, and it's like difficult to see things like dust clouds in here. But there we go, that was alright.
I used to be able to do that without bonking.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't do that.
I literally just sat there for like 2 hours practicing just that room, just to be able to do that.
Dang,
There's
man.
no reason. It saves like seconds, but it just looks cool.
So I'm slower than 2 of this girl's Pokemon, so using X speed is helpful. Returns a range on this, but I don't want to use Flare Blitz because I really don't want to take the recoil damage here in case something goes wrong. Returns are like a very likely range. I think it's like 13 and 16. This Starmie outspeeds me without the X speed. It's very nice to outspeed that. This Sork has sturdy, so I have to weaken it a little bit before knocking it out. 106. What does that do? Oh, whatever. I think 106 is not great. I'm gonna try and. Yeah, that was a mistake. 106 would have been fine. I was trying to like get into Blaze there, but it was 101 was the magic amount of HP, not 106. Okay, 106 is like for another part of it, I think. So yeah, that was a bit of a mistake, but whatever. We have enough Hypers to deal with that. Yeah, 106 I would have had to heal anyway, but there's no point in flare blitzing. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Golurk. What a great Pokemon.
What's your beef with Golurk?
Dude, nothing at all. I like how he just falls over.
That's most of the Pokemon in this game, to be fair. Alright, so I don't really need the Lucky Egg anymore. I want the power boost from Charcoal more than I want the experience boost from Lucky Egg at this point in the game. Not for, so much for this next fight, but for the Elite Four. So I'm just gonna equip that now. Before the rival fight here.
This is their last chance to hear the Hue music.
Yep. Got to set up one X attack here, and this Unpheasant can control me a bit and use Swagger. We'll see what it decides to do though. Okay. I can't remember if I can return this, but I'm just going to Thunder Punch. I think I probably could have returned it. Let me have a look. Yeah, return would have been fine, but that's...
Not like you're hurting on Thunder Punch PP.
Yeah, it's alright. So yeah, plus one attack after Flare Blitz this Buffalant. This Samurai I do after Thunder Punch, I know that. Okay. So the reason I equipped the Charcoal there, even though I really didn't need it for that fight, was because I just didn't want to have to menu after the Hue fight before the first Elite Four member. It might seem a bit strange to think that I can just go in at this amount of HP, but it's actually fine. Now in this game has a really cool feature in that you can fight the Elite Four in whatever order you like, and that's actually pretty useful. That means that depending on my HP after that fight, I would fight a different trainer first or second. I would fight either Shauntal or Grimsley. With HP this low, I'll fight Shauntal first. Ideally, I would like to get through this having to heal as few times as possible. I think from now I have to heal. I want to heal no more than 3 times outside of battle for the whole of the Pokemon League. So entering this in Blaze means that I can just knock this Configurigus out immediately with a flamethrower.
Since Flamethrower is not a contact move, it also means you get to keep Blaze.
Yeah, that's really helpful for the rest of the battle.
Yeah, one of the advantages of having a naughty H, you know?
Pardon?
I'm pretty sure that. One of the advantages of having a naughty H, you know? I'm pretty sure that is not possible last round with Adam.
I haven't checked it in this game, but I know in Black you can do, if you're in Blaze, you can do Blaze Flamethrower on that thing. But
Yeah, it's probably fine here. There are other Pokemon that Blaze Flamethrower is a range on with Naughty that would be a tougher range with Adamant. So I have to Flare Blitz this because it resists fire. So I have to Blaze Flare Blitz that, or it doesn't die, and then I go down to 20 HP. I don't die, which is nice. If you die, it's not a huge deal. You will just max revive, and I have plenty of those. Alright, so let's Hyper Potion up. And fight Caitlyn next. I can't... Like, you can fight Grimsley at relatively low HP, but that's just too low. Fighting Chantal first is nice because it means that on this fight I can be at level 70 for a last Pokemon, which removes the damage range. I believe, unless I'm forgetting something.
it's really pretty crazy how you go from back at Drayton, you're like on par level-wise with all the opponents, and then get to here and you're just like 14 levels higher.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So I'm in Blaze just so I can flamethrower this guy, because I'm in Blaze and that'll KO. I think I'm still going to be Blaze after level up too. Yeah. No wait, no I'm not, am I? Yeah, I'm not quite, so I'm just going to have to Flare Blitz that. Yeah, actually, yeah, that sucks. I probably should have fought Grimsley first and then HP in that case. My mental arithmetic let me down. Because this is too low for Grimsley. Oh well, whatever. We'll just have to heal an extra time. It'll be fine. I didn't check for... I think I've already used all my fresh waters and stuff. That would have been nice to use against Grimsley there, but whatever. Because I have to get into Blaze on this fight too. Yeah, I played this a little wrong, but whatever. It's gonna work out. So this Lipid, unless it can kill you with Aerial Ace, it'll always use Fake Out turn 1, so use that opportunity to set up a next speed. Dude, am I gonna have enough Flare Blitzes? This is a little bit of a worry actually. I have 2 more, right? Yeah. I need 2 more for Marshall, and yeah, this Scraggy's probably going to KO me actually because I need to be in Blaze to KO it. So that sucks. Or it could use Roxie and Miss, that works too. You just full restoring there.
Planned, all planned.
Yeah, totally.
Nailed it. Good RNG nip.
Oh my gosh.
I remember now why the admin strat didn't used to use flamethrowers, because we did used to teach over flamethrower, I believe.
Yeah, I used to teach
Keep heat
flaglets
crash.
over that, keep heat crash instead.
Which makes sense if you're adamant, since
Yeah.
your special attack is less based.
So yeah, I've used, that was my last hyper potion, but I have 4 max potions, which should be plenty. I do Marshall last because being at level 71 just guarantees a range on one of his Pokemon. This Sork also has Sturdy, so again I have to use Thunder Punch to soften it up a little. Alright, there we go. So that was a little bit messy, but we got there. Just one fight left.
With the best music in the game.
Yeah, I love the champion music. I know it can be quite divisive. Some people can think it's a bit silly, but
It only is until you play it a couple times, and then you realize how amazing it is. Someone in chat would like to remind you to heal on Aggron.
yeah. I lost a 324 pace run to not healing on Aggron one time. I also went to the menu there. Good job, me. Instead of pressing Y. But I actually only did that was because I need to go into the menu to save anyway. I'm a genius. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna save here just in case something goes horribly wrong, but I should be fine, really. Got to set up a bit on this Hydreigon. This is what I bought the max potions for, because it's doing quite a lot of damage to me, and if it got good ranges and I healed with a hyper potion, it could kill me from like 232 HP with 2 surfs, for example. Unless it went for Dragon Balls instead, but you can't really guarantee that. Alright, so that's the setup. Now I can knock this Aggron out right away, but I'm going to need to heal. I need to heal on it to prepare for his Hydreigon, basically. I did have a fresh water left. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, that should be fine. 156. Yeah, there's a slim chance Haxorus can knock me out from this HP, but whatever. I can't knock this Haxorus out in one hit because it has a focus sash, which is kind of like sturdy, but it's but it's an item and it's one-time use. With the Dragon Dance anyway. So now that that's broken, I can just knock it out from full after Iris heals it. Actually, if Iris, didn't heal it there, it would just kill me with +1 Earthquake, but I'm thankful for what she did. Good game.
GG.
Alright, time now, I guess. Because we beat Iris. That should be the end.
There we go. Now, if this was single segment, this would be a 341. But... yeah.
So yeah, I guess we have a little bit of time before the next run, so we might be able to play a bit of the credits, I don't know. We'll see what the organisers want to do about this, but yeah, we can at least check the in-game time, I'm sure. Even though it's really irrelevant because I reset on... where did I reset? I reset on Elisa and Cheren, yes, several times, and also Skyla because she crit me.
Game time is probably going to be really, really good, like a low 330 or a high 320.
We'll see. Dang, I'm not sure I've ever seen Liveherd in the Hall of Fame for me before. It's a new one.
Oh, that's true, it's 325 when you said right before Iris, so...
Well, that's 329. There you go.
There you go.
Top 330.
Yeah.
Nailed it, dude. Only 2 minutes off my PB. On Emulator.
Nice. Well, we've unlocked easy mode, guys. Let's do it all again.
Thank God. That was too hard. Let's do it on easy.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll take less than 23 minutes.
Most sensible thing ever programmed into a Pokemon game, that.
Alright, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed this round of Pokemon White 2. Thanks very much, Villagin and Sinstar, for commentating with me.
Indeed.
Yep, and we're just going to listen to a bit of this credits music. We're quite a way ahead of schedule now, so...
Yeah, what did you say the time was in the end? The RTA thing?
Real time, 3:41:46.
Okay. Yeah, that is...
that's...
That is quite... not bad. That is quite a way below my estimate. I wasn't really sure what to make the estimate. The RNG minute stage could have gone on for longer than that, really.
And all the devs proved how brutal this game can be, and how if you got even more trolls, you could have been really bad.
Yeah, overall that was really, really good, and way faster than the last marathon run that this game has had.
Which will never be spoken of, Kappa.
But yeah, next up is, I believe, Pokemon TCG.
Yep, that's right, and Horror is going to be TCG.
Good stuff. I tried that like one time, and it was just, I don't know how people make decisions that quickly. I guess it's just getting used to the situations, but that's something that I find difficult. So it should be a good run.
Yeah, the suppose we'll jump off the credits now and get into the TCG run. Might as well get going.
Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. And keep
Thanks for
watching the marathon.
Run, Garfield.